6 o'clock exactly at the MJ Morning Show on a Wednesday. You know, I was going to start with a Fester suggestion that I was able to cobble together last night, but Fester's not here, so it's going to be kind of tough to have the... Oh, here he is. Dude, can you just... Listen, I don't mean to bitch and moan, but can you just try to be here? We're walking in. You got your what the hell are you carrying in today? You've got your arms completely filled with all kinds of crap. What is the inventory of what you're carrying?
One, I got my Buc-ee's cup full of water here.
Okay.
Two, I got a sack of nuts I started eating last night.
Emerald kettle glazed pecans.
These are like a little piece of heaven. I mean, these are some of the best nuts I've ever put in my face. I've got
some of the best nuts you've ever had in your mouth.
I got my headphones. I'm plugging them in right now. I got my Toomey bag that I all but stole from the thrift shop.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well have just done a smash and grab. Yeah. You might as well have just taken your 2010 Cadillac DTS, driven into the thrift store parking lot at 2 a.m. and smashed, I mean, completely smashed through their front window. Grabbed that, ran, and then peeled the hell out, gotten out of there. I mean, you stole that thing. Folks, if you have not heard the thrift store story, Fester got a Toomey carry bag.
Yeah.
That is $625 on the Toomey website. Fester got it for $15. It was marked $29.99, but then it was white tagged, which meant that it was 50% off the marked price. So you got it for like $15. A $625 bag from Toomey. Hold this thing back up to let the MJ TV crowd see this thing. Is that a leather one or is that the ballistic nylon?
It's the ballistic nylon.
Okay, it is. Man, that thing looks freaking brand new.
Yeah. That's what he said.
God.
He said there were no crumb use at the, sometimes you have crumbs just from stuff that you use.
I have an old Toomey, I'm holding mine up, and Michelle, I've had this for a long time. When did I get this bag?
Oh, my gosh. I don't...
This bag's
20 years ago, maybe.
This bag's about 20 years old because we don't buy Toomey anymore because Toomey moved to China, and they're not lifetime warranted any longer, so we don't buy Toomey anymore. But my carry bag, this goes back to the old MJ days at the other radio station. This bag that I have here, I'm holding mine up to MJ TV. This one, which is different than Fester's. This is a larger one than Fester's, I believe.
Yeah, yours is. Yeah,
and this is like all my prep and junk, and so That's the bag I have, but that looks old and worn because it's 20 years old, and some things have broken off that. And then, by the way, if you bought your bag when it was under lifetime warranty, I think if you try to go to them now, they tell you to piss off and get lost, Michelle?
Not exactly, but I think they try to charge you a fee to return the bag and shipping. I mean, everything that used to be kind of just like all inclusive, fix the bag it's not anymore.
But that's insane. I mean, it's almost like they've got a bunch of dumbasses marking products at this thrift store. And by the way, Michelle went to this. Fester turned Michelle on to, what is it, red, white, and blue?
Yeah, red, white, and blue thrift, 3 burial locations.
All right, so listen, they don't buy commercials on this show.
They don't.
They're not a sponsor of the show, but Fester found this place, told Michelle. Julian and Michelle went to this red, white, and blue thrift store in what part of town? Is it?
The one that we went to is at the corner of Waters Avenue and Florida Avenue,
right,
in North Tampa.
Right, but I'm sorry to say this, but it's almost like they got a bunch of
Can you not inform them of that? Because I've got a couple of locations to hit still that I want to get my good deal, dude.
Don't inform them that they have some morons that are marking marking the prices on some of the items.
Look, we think it's coming from another area, so it could be already marked before it gets here. Like
But Fester getting a $625 Toomey carry bag. It's $625 on their website, and Fester. If you paid the full $30 for it, what a freaking steal!
Incredible.
And then it's already a steal and should have been priced much higher, and then they put a white tag 50% slash sale on it,
and it was in a big pile of other black carry items.
I didn't see that pile. I was looking everywhere for it, Fester.
It was like in between 2 racks. It was like a pie where the games are. So I'm like, and the last thing I say is I see a bunch of attaché cases,
right,
and I'm like, that's the last thing I need. I don't need another carry bag.
Yeah,
The other question is, who's the moron that dropped this $625 virtually brand new Toomey briefcase carry bag? Who the hell dropped this off at a thrift store in the first place instead of like putting it on eBay or trying to sell it on Facebook Marketplace? They could have gotten $200-$300 for the damn thing.
So I will tell you, it was used,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when I got it home, I opened up all the zippers, I took it out to the driveway, and I gave it a vicious, a ferocious shaking.
When you were like checking the pockets, did you get stuck with a used hypodermic needle?
No, nothing like that.
Okay,
no, but I was
checking.
Very careful as I opened the pockets for the first time, and like 17 cents fell out. So there was change in it that got wedged in the corner that just dislodged with my ferocious 2-minute shaking.
But no like cookie or cracker crumbs fell out. It wasn't like filthy. It was a pretty clean.
It's clean.
Yeah. Because it looks brand new.
Yeah.
But that's unbelievable. And then Michelle and Julian, they went to this red, white, and blue thrift store after Fester turned them on to it. They were there on Monday, and Michelle walks out with a $200 Waterford Crystal decanter, which she sees online for like $150 to $200. Michelle walked out with this thing unchipped, in perfect condition, for $5.99. The only thing better if that had a white tag on it, and it cost you, $250. Hey, so Fester calls me up late last night. Fester calls me at 9:00. Hey, did you see the president? He dropped the big F-bomb live on TV. As he's walking out of the White House to get on the helicopter to go on his overseas trip. Did you see that Trump cursed? You got to grab the audio, and you got to make a sweeper. So, listen, obviously our voice guy and the production people are not available at 9:00 at night.
They should be.
So I went to my home studio, and I put together like a quickie temporary version. Tell me if this is what you had in mind.
The MJ Morning Show is on 104.7 FM.
They don't know what the they're doing.
Q105.
You understand that?
I mean, that's pretty close. I mean, that's right there.
Is that close?
Yeah. I mean, in my mind's eye, that's exactly what I pictured. Yeah.
All right. So,
mission accomplished.
I mean,
there we go.
I think I originally pictured like a show roster like MJ, Fester, Michelle. Then the president steps in.
They don't know what the F they're doing.
The MJ Morning Show is on 104.7 FM.
They don't know what the they're doing.
Q105.
You understand that?
Perfect.
That works.
That'll be great. That serves every one of our needs.
The MJ Morning Show, they don't know what the F they're doing.
So true.
I gotta hear it one more time. We might use this all morning long. Yeah, because it's a little bit of a shelf life.
The rest of the week we should play this.
Yeah.
The MJ Morning Show is on 104.7 FM.
They don't know what the they're doing.
Q105.
You understand that?
You got the helicopter in the background.
You got Marine One with little blades are whirling already. All right. 6:09, just getting started. It's going to be a very entertaining and busy MJ Morning Show here on Wednesday? So I would encourage you to just stick around for at least a couple of seconds. Traffic's on. Let's grab Schreiner. First check this morning. Back in a second. Stand by.
There are no incidents to report on right now, but we're starting to see the volume build on I-4.
Suspicious vehicle in the parking lot on the way in this morning as you were cruising in late, right at showtime. Any chance you saw it?
I saw one suspicious vehicle, and it was mine. Very suspicious.
Hey, Michelle, how would you describe the suspicious vehicle? Well, we kind of labeled it suspicious. How would you describe what we saw when we came in this morning?
Suspicious.
All right, well, could you...
Was it an SUV? Was it a sedan? Was it a pickup truck?
It was something that was not a sedan because I feel like the outline. Look, dude,
it was a car.
I have such old lady eyes. One eye is what do you call it? One eye can't see distance and one eye can't see close.
One's nearsighted, one's farsighted?
Yes, thank you. Monovision, I think is what they call it.
Right.
So I really can't see that
far. Better than mononucleosis.
I guess so, yeah.
So I couldn't really see like the shape of the vehicle. I just saw that there were lights illuminated. It looked like something a little bigger than a sedan. That's what I would say.
Right.
But then it waited until we parked,
and then it started moving. Yeah, slowly.
Yeah.
And,
slow crawl.
Yeah, I had my hand on the P365, Anyway, so it was on the far end of the parking lot. So what are you doing here? There's no one there. I mean, the only activity is down on our end. And then there's a dude back in the office park. And I couldn't tell what kind of car it was. It was just it was a car. It wasn't an SUV. It wasn't a big barge boat like you drive.
Did you get a color?
It was dark. It was it was a blue or a black. No.
It was dark, and it was a dark car.
Yeah, it was dark and dark.
Okay.
Well, can you tell what color? Oh no, I couldn't, officer. It was dark. No, the car's actually dark. It was a blue or black car, and then it was just sitting at the far end with lights on, and we were pulling into the spot, and this car was coming into the parking lot from the street on the far end, and then kind of pulled into a spot, stopped, and then as we're getting out of our car to come into the building, then the car starts slowly like lurking. It had backed into a spot, and then it starts moving forward slowly as we're getting out of our vehicle, and then it moved toward the back of the building. So I deemed that suspicious, and I did not see the golf cart guy. Yeah, we got a security guard rolls around the office complex 24/7 in a golf cart. That's some good cover from him, by the way. Yeah.
That's a good job.
Yeah. No. I'm not talking about the quality of the job. No. I'm talking about that, here, you got a dude just riding around in a golf cart doing security for like 22 buildings. It's like, why don't you get him a Ford Focus or something? Get him a car, to drive around in, or a pickup truck or something. Hey, I'll get him a hell of a deal. Hey, Bay Point Management, I'll get you a deal at Veterans Ford or something, Get
a little Maverick to tool around it.
Yeah.
little Mavericks are awesome.
The Maverick pickup.
Yeah. So, today, MJ, before I came to the show late, I actually went to the building across the street.
Hold on, why that's what, the Progressive?
Yeah.
They're not there anymore.
They took the sign down. They're gone.
Yeah, so Progressive, because there's a whole huge Progressive building off of Gandy here in St. Pete. There's a huge, when you go over that new hump and you're headed toward Park on Gandy, before you get to the Rolls Royce dealership and Aston Martin over there, there's a huge Progressive complex. So did they move out of the building across from us? That's a hell of a vacancy. Is that building abandoned now?
Do they have any cutouts of flow?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Right? I'd love to get a tour of that place.
All right, so you did not see the suspicious vehicle. So what does the building have to do across the way?
What I'm saying is I got a good view from distance of our whole parking area because I had to go to the building across the street because they have a mailbox. The blue mailbox. And I had a letter to drop. So I dropped my letter.
How do you even know the mail's picked up out of that thing? The building's abandoned.
Listen,
if you're looking for office space, I think you can get it for 75 cents a square foot, right across the street.
Negotiable. Are you saying USPS doesn't pick up their boxes?
I don't know. I'm just saying
if they have a blue box out there, I am of the belief that they are pretty close to the time that they have posted.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that there are some blue boxes that might be in places that are somewhat abandoned and they don't pick up the mail any longer.
No.
So a big thing
do they officially remove the box or seal off the box or lock the door if it's not a pickup spot any longer?
A big thing several years ago, there were some budget cuts with the Postal Service. They took a lot of the blue boxes away. Before, it feels like they were in neighborhoods and they were everywhere.
Yeah.
Now they're not.
Oh, yeah. Those blue mailboxes used to be everywhere. And then folks are encouraged, don't put mail in the boxes.
Oh,
so here, well, dude.
Who's encouraging you not to put the mail in the box?
Hold on.
Where did you hear this?
The mail theft that's going on. A lot of the old school blue metal mailboxes are targets for theft, and you've got thieves that'll stick wire hangers down there with stick 'em on the end or gum, and they'll fish mail out looking for checks that they can wash, or they're looking for social security numbers or whatever. What the hell did you mail at 5:58 in the morning in the blue old school USPS mailbox across the way? What the hell were you mailing?
Documents.
Were they tax documents, Fester?
They were not tax documents.
Hang on a minute. What? Oh, we've got a U.S. Postal Service worker on the phone.
I don't want you to besmirch the agency.
All right, hang on. It's Bobby.
Yeah.
Hold on. Bobby, hang on a minute. I'll be right there. What the hell are you mailing at 5:58 in the morning, making you late for the MJ Morning Show open?
I was actually here almost on time.
What are you mailing? What documents?
It was a document.
What?
A document of something I'm trying to buy.
Dude,
Ooh.
Stop with the mystery. Stop with the
Intriguing.
Stop with the coded talk. What are you trying to buy? What was the document for?
I'm trying to buy a piece of property
Where?
for horses.
What?
No, it's all not true. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Come on, don't
I'm not
yank
buying
my
it.
chain. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to buy some land up in Ocala next to John Travolta's place?
No, further north.
Dude,
Bushnell.
well, first of all, is Bushnell?
I don't know.
I think Bushnell is
I don't know.
Bushnell's south of
It's just a
Ocala.
funny town name.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dade City. I'm buying some land.
All right, dude.
That's a poppin' area, by the
Dude,
way.
will you please tell me what the hell you're dropping documents off in a mailbox for at 5:58 in the morning?
Hadley has a pen pal. And
All right.
it was the letter that Hadley wrote to her pen pal.
You were
she's
supposed to mail it last
and
week?
she's like, can you mail this? Or how do I mail this? And then I think she heard it on the radio show, which is this show. Never put it on your box with the flag up
Oh, uh-huh.
because she heard MJ's story. I guess like 2 years ago. About
That's another thing.
Yeah, she's like, she heard your story about like you seeing somebody in your neighborhood 30 years ago stealing from mailboxes.
Right. So that two things. These con artists, these bad actors, they steal mail from the actual official U.S. Post Office mailboxes. That's why even at the post office, I don't think it's good to put the mail in the box in the parking lot.
That's pretty brazen. I mean, I feel
but-
pretty good about the post office box.
There were cases where they ripped off mail out of the actual blue metal box in the parking lot. If you're mailing something, you ought to just take an extra 30 seconds, get off your lazy ass, get off your beaded butt seat in your car, and walk into the post office and either hand it to the clerk or put it in the slot, like in the wall at the post office.
Where you put your taxes. That never
Yeah.
ever
Yeah.
has a problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where my 2 priority mail envelopes mailed at the Tampa airport never arrived. By the way, we were hit with like 25 grand in penalties over that. So my accountant had to write a whole abatement thing. You know, after I mailed my taxes on time last year and they never arrived, they disappeared after I put 2 priority mail envelopes in the wall at 5 a.m. at the Tampa airport on tax day 2024. And they had a 6-month tracer, and then I finally got a note, your packages are irretrievably lost, blah, blah. Let me go to Bobby, who's a U.S. Postal Service worker. Bobby, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
We're doing well. So what can we help you with, or what can you help us with?
Well, so we scan the inside of the blue boxes every day when we pick them up to verify that they're picked up. And they have to be scanned at a certain time to verify that the mail's picked up every single day. So even if it's in a location that is not busy or, in that case, vacant, it's picked up and verified through the scan.
All right. So the fact that the office building across the way appears to be like empty and abandoned, and if there's still a blue box there, that you're telling me the carrier knows it's there and the mail is definitely picked up.
Absolutely. The blue boxes are designated to certain routes, so every single day that carrier will pick up that blue box and scan the barcode on the inside of the box to verify.
Gotcha. Oh, so there's a barcode. I hear. So they scan that. All right, very good. Bobby, you've been very, very helpful. And, hey, any thoughts? And I'm sure if you're a regular listener, had you previously heard
no comment.
on
your taxes?
Yeah, where the hell did my taxes go that I mailed from Tampa, Maine on tax day, 5 a.m. 2024? Where the hell would 2 priority mail envelopes go?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. You had tracking on them, so I mean.
Yeah, it did a lot of good.
That's what they tell you to do.
They never left the Tampa post office. Where'd they go?
Did you address the envelope, or did the clerk address the envelope?
No, I used the kiosk. The machine printed out the sticker, and
it printed up the label. Okay.
Yeah, and I've I've done it many, many times. It was the IRS, P.O. Box, blah, 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 Charlotte, North Carolina. And there were 2 different envelopes with 2 different P.O. boxes, one for tax due with my 1040 ES and one for my estimated taxes. And neither got...
I'm going to blame it on the IRS. Because we are perfect.
No. It never got to Charlotte, North Carolina. It got
lost in the mail.
No, it got lost at Tampa International Airport main post office.
It was never scanned after he dropped it.
This is the thing. Even though it seems like if it leaves Tampa, it does not get a scan until it reaches the next facility. So it could have been lost on the way. You never know. It could have been lost. I don't know. I can't tell you. I wish I could. I have no idea.
Anyway, you know what? I never got my refund. They owe me like $9. They owe me $18, 9 times 2, and I never got my refund. Hey, Bobby, thanks for calling. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry. That's terrible. I hate that for you.
All right, thank you.
I've been a long-time listener, by the way. I won $500 from MJ and BJ like many, many years ago.
Wow. Like fantastic plastic payoff or something?
Yes, something like that. I can't exactly remember, but I had to drive over the bridge, the Gandy Bridge, and on the right, your office was over there.
Yeah.
I remember and pick up stuff.
Speaking of abandoned, that old facility's abandoned. Anyway, hey, Bobby, you have a great day. Thank you, Bobby.
Hey, you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bobby. All right. 6:31 at the MJ Morning Show. Hey, I love a good radio station story.
What happened?
From California.
Anybody we know?
Chico radio station stabbing suspect makes first appearance in court Monday. Oh, man.
That doesn't give me enough information.
Well, that's just the headline, dude. I've got the rest of the facts from the story. Hang on. You know what? I'm going to make this. I'm gonna make this the lead item in Morons in the News. A radio station stabbing. And now you're wondering why I'm, concerned about the suspicious car in the parking lot at 5:30 this morning. All right, hold on. So radio station stabbing story. Oh, you're not going to believe the name of the radio station. Well, so that'll be first up next, and then we'll go into the Morons in the News in minutes here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. Hey, my friends at Plan B Air Conditioning just installed a brand new Daikin unit. So you know that Plan B is a longtime advertiser here on the MJ Morning Show. By the way, ROI, the results, the MJ Morning Show, we pay off for our advertisers. That's why, you hear a lot of the same advertisers on the show when I do my live commercials just over and over and over again for years because they don't want to give up the highly coveted spot because the return on their investment when you advertise on the MJ Morning Show and I do a live spot for you, the return is enormous. So Plan B Air Conditioning is another one of our great sponsors. They get great results advertising. If you need any air conditioning repair or if you do need a new unit, in my case, I needed a new unit. I've got multiple zones in my house. One of the zones went out, well out of warranty. The parts were, just shot. It would have been ridiculously expensive. So we yanked it and we put in a new Daikin. So this is my first foray into Daikin, Daikien, and it's the largest air conditioning manufacturer in the world. And they're made in South Korea. The South Koreans make really good products. And it's got a 12-year parts warranty. 12 freaking years warranty. No one else does that. The best warranty in the business. And this thing's working, blowing cold air. It's fantastic. So if you need a new air conditioning unit, you call Plan B Air Conditioning. They'll beat any other air conditioning company by at least $500. If you need any kind of service for your air conditioning, it's Plan B Air Conditioning, just honest. And in most cases, they can fix it for a fraction. Some companies might want to try to sell you a new unit when Plan B can fix it for hundreds instead of you paying thousands. Get a hold of Plan B Air Conditioning on their website. It's planbairconditioning.com, or you can call them, 813-PLAN-BAC, 813-PLAN-BAC, and tell them that MJ sent you and get 10% off. PlanBAirConditioning.com. Tell them MJ sent you. All right, so the Kemp Law Group is representing Fester and Allison. Allison, Fester's wife, was rear-ended in downtown Tampa by an Uber. If you're rear-ended if you got some klutz, some clod, some inattentive son of a, you're just sitting at a traffic light and you just get rocked into the weekend, and it's like Tuesday, right? And you're rear-ended, you got damage, your trunk is smashed into your back seat, your neck is all frigged up. If you're hurt in a car wreck, same thing if you got a green light and some schmuck on wheels literally blasts through a red light, T-bones you, shoves you, off the road into a bus stop, your car's flipped, then it blows up. Who do you call? You call the Kemp Law Group. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. Let them go to work on your case immediately, preserving evidence, getting you the biggest settlement possible. Listen, bottom line is you don't pay a dime until they recover. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law, kemplaw.com. Tell them MJ sent you. Morons in the news, MJ Morning Show, next.
There are no incidents.
Hey, 641 MJ Morning Show. The morons are on. So, a radio station stabbing. I'm like, oh my God. This is from California, man. Any violence at a radio station, man, that's going to get my attention, right? I'm like, what happened? What, a listener tried to call up and request a song and the DJ wouldn't play it, and well, that's a stabbing. You know, maybe they were unhappy with the prize they won, or who knows? Go down to the station, stab people. Guess what? Wasn't a listener. A coworker went on a stabbing spree, all pissed at other coworkers at the radio station.
I mean, I've been around some pretty high tension, amongst employees at radio stations.
That's right.
I don't know that it's ever risen to the level of a stabbing.
From Chico, California, is that near like Sacramento? Chico.
It sounds like it would be, but I don't know.
Chico, Sacramento. I think it's kind of up that way. Chico, more like north of Los Angeles. Yeah, where's Chico? Tell me where Chico is. Is that
north of Sacramento?
Yeah, so
north.
Yeah, north of Sacramento, north of San Francisco. Wow. Okay. So a Chico dude accused of stabbing a coworker at a local radio station. His first appearance was Monday. Kevin Leeson. I wonder if it was Kevin Leeson in the midday. Kevin Leeson, playing your favorite tunes while you work. It's the Kevin Leeson at work network. Anyway, so Kevin Leeson, 30, arrested on attempted murder charges at Results Radio. What?
Results Radio?
I don't know. What? Look that up. Look up. What the hell do they do? What do they? Is it like an infomercial, or is it a talk station? Yeah, Results Radio is the name of the place. What do they do?
Is it a digital radio?
I don't know.
About us?
Yeah. So the incident occurred actually about 10 days ago, just before 9 a.m. at Results Radio. The Chico Police Department got an emergency call about a stabbing. Officers showed up to find the staff had evacuated, and the victim was trapped on a rear patio. The suspect was inside. He's got his knife or whatever. Cops executed a rescue by breaching a fence, evacuated the victim. According to police, additional resources were brought in, including a crisis negotiator and detectives, to try to ensure a peaceful surrender of the perp, of the suspect.
All right, we're outside Results Radio right now, live on the air. Inside, there's a stabbing.
What the hell is Results Radio?
So Results Radio is the name of the company. They own 12 radio stations in Northern California.
Wow.
So they own rock, country, CHR.
Yeah, look at this.
Classic hits.
Yeah.
So they're a cluster.
Oh, they own hot adult contemporary. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really sticking to the titles.
12 FM stations, rock, country, contemporary hit radio, classic hits. That's what we are. Q105 is a classic hit station. So they play Bryan Adams' Summer of 69, I'm sure. And Boys of Summer by Don Henley, right?
When they're not stabbing each other.
And Madonna's Borderline. Classic hits, right?
All right.
Yeah.
So there's something very peculiar about this place.
What's very peculiar about Results Radio?
Maybe peculiar is the wrong word.
You can't even say the word. You can't even say the word.
Because he has a pecan in his mouth.
I'm eating my bag of nuts while I'm on the radio.
Dude, we get the
probably
nuts.
Not. Me eating nuts and talking on the radio is not conducive to each other.
You got nuts in your mouth.
However,
do you like nuts?
So obviously, Results Radio is. I'm sure it's a decent enough place, right? So you own 12 radio stations, a small cluster.
Right.
CEO is a guy named Jack Fritz.
Right.
Strategic development, Dave Shakes.
Dave Shakes.
Then there's a guy named Barry Cooper.
Right.
Look at that.
That's funny. That's funny. The CTO, what is that, like Chief Technical Officer?
I guess, yeah, I'd be there.
Is Ron Castro.
No.
Not
No.
what?
It's
CTO.
CTO is I think Chief Technical Officers is like CTO.
That's who you call when you lock out of your email.
Well, it doesn't say it on their thing.
Yes, it just says CTO, but a lot of times CTO is Chief Technical Officer, CFO is Chief Financial Officer. So the CTO there is Ron Castro, and of course our general mangler here is Ron D. Castro. That's great. Ron Castro already had 20 years in broadcast programming and engineering experience when he started KRPQ from a construction permit in 1986.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, great. All right. Now they're getting all stabby at Results Radio. Yeah. What caused this dude to stab a coworker?
Have you ever wanted to stab a coworker?
No, I haven't.
Never?
No, I don't think I've ever wanted to physically hurt anybody that I worked with. I mean, I've worked with some pains in the asses or folks that I particularly care for, but I don't think I've ever really thought about stabbing anybody where I work.
I only thought about stabbing people.
So you have stabby thoughts? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Yes.
Did you see a picture of this guy?
Yeah, no, I did not. The 30-year-old Mr. What was his name? Kevin Leeson?
Yeah, he looks like he works at a radio station in Northern California.
Oh
He
man.
does.
My God.
Also, if he's sitting at the cubicle next to me, I think I might be resigning soon.
Looks like he's got a grow house in Chowchilla or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, when I saw a radio station stabbing, I'm like, and it's an employee on employee stabbing. It's like, man, I would love to know what that was about. Yeah. All right. Come closer to home. Morons in the news. Hillsborough County teacher tried to smuggle guns to a foreign country? What the hell? A former Hillsborough County high school teacher has pleaded guilty in a conspiracy to smuggle firearms out of the country to a transnational criminal enterprise, according to the U.S. Attorney Greg Keogh in downtown Tampa.
And this enterprise needed this teacher from Tampa, Florida to smuggle weapons?
Yes. All right. Have any of our listeners, any high school students or any parents know this name? Shannon Samlal Singh. Shannon Samlal Singh, 46 years old, made false statements to firearms dealers here in Hillsborough and Miami-Dade in 2020 and 21, purchasing oodles of firearms and parts in order to smuggle them out of the country. The woman stated that she was buying the weapons herself, but had actually been paid to purchase and then transfer them to members of a criminal operation from Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago. And she's a high school teacher in Hillsborough County.
Where did she teach? It's a she, right?
She, yeah. Samlal Singh kept a percentage of the money as compensation.
That only seems fair.
Yeah, according to Channel 8, she faces a maximum penalty of 5 years in federal prison. So according to the press release from the Department of Justice, the U.S. attorney locally, the weapons were discovered when authorities at an airport in Trinidad seized 2 punching bags from a shipment from the U.S. So wait, she was disguising the guns inside punching bags.
Exercise equipment.
Yeah.
They'll get right through.
Oh, my God.
They're not going to look through this big duffel.
Guess what was crammed into the punch? And I got to believe that these were not the little, the little round ones.
That was called speed bags.
Yeah, the speed bags, where the boxer goes, you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Not that bad. It's got, it had to be like the long, cylindrical, 4.5 foot tall, the big punching bags. Because listen to the guns that this woman had jammed into the punching bags.
I mean, it must have weighed a couple of 100 pounds.
All right, so inside the punching bags, sent from Tampa to Trinidad, 11 9mm pistols.
Okay.
2 38 caliber special revolvers, 12-gauge semi-automatic shotgun, 3 AR-15 barrel foregrips, 19 lower pistol grip assemblies, 11 forearm bolt assemblies, 3 AR-15 style barrels, probably 16-inch barrels, 32 AR-15 magazines, 1 AR-15 drum magazine, 470 rounds of AR-15 ammunition. I wonder if she went for the 223 or the 5.56 NATO.
We can call her.
Yeah. 34 9mm magazines, 3 9mm drum magazines, 284 9mm rounds, 15 38 caliber rounds. What? Just 15?
Just 15.
Yeah.
The box had 16, but
36 shells. I would imagine, shotgun shells? 6 magazine couplers and 2 shotgun chokes, all jammed inside a punching bag. And this woman was a teacher in Hillsborough County.
So she...
I don't know what she taught. Did you find what she taught?
It looks like high school.
Yeah.
No. I know she taught high school, but what subject?
She was an English teacher at Tampa Bay Tech.
Did she teach smuggling?
English and intensive reading.
Or straw buying? She taught what?
English and intensive reading.
Oh, my God.
So she read all the gun manuals before she shipped them. But
where's Tampa Bay Technical High School?
It's on Orient Road.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Very close to the lockup, very close to the prison.
It's a short drive.
Or to the jail, the Orient Road jail.
She's like, I know this place really well.
Oh, man.
I'm here all the time. How was your summer, Teach?
Oh, needless to say, former teacher. Man, is that not insane?
That's pretty crazy.
That is crazy. Oh, yeah, hey, Mom, guess what? My reading teacher at Tampa Bay Tech, what's the name of the Tampa Bay Tech?
Tampa Bay Tech.
Just got busted for gun smuggling to Trinidad. That's crazy.
I think she's looking for some remote opportunities now.
Yeah.
That's what her last LinkedIn post indicated.
Is that what it says?
Uh-huh.
Very remote.
6:53 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. When we get back, the 7 o'clock hour starts. When we get back, I want to talk about these menaces on these e-bikes. Almost got ran over again yesterday. Man, I'll tell you what, these e-bikes, wow. All right. Also, did you have a nightmare last night? This is this could be the most important thing you hear on the show today. Did you have a nightmare last night? Or, listen, it's not specific to last night. Did you have a nightmare recently? Do you frequently have nightmares? Michelle, you do.
I wouldn't say frequently, but I do have nightmares.
But you have disturbing dreams sometimes, and then you sometimes don't know the specific of the nightmare. Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
But other times it's like you had a nightmare and it was just very unsettling.
Yeah.
You need to pay attention to the next segment.
Yeah, listen up.
Because let me tell you what, the MJ Morning Show next is going to be a nightmare. All right, hold on. Next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM. My friends at Miracle Toyota in Polk County want to invite you in. You're looking for a Toyota? If you want a great experience, great selection, you want a great top to bottom, just a wonderful time, and you're looking for Toyota, you want to hit Miracle Toyota. So Miracle Toyota is on 27 in Haines City. So Polk County, Lakeland, Winter Haven, Haines City, looking for Toyota, you want to hit up Miracle Toyota. Every day is a miracle at Miracle Toyota. And you want to tell them that MJ sent you. So we just started hurricane season. And guess what? Miracle Toyota in Haines City stepping up. Any test drive, you'll qualify to win a home generator. Any Toyota purchase, they will give you a free Honda generator for hurricane season, or, just a summer electrical storm where the power goes out, you got a generator. All right, Miracle Toyota, do me a favor, tell them MJ sent you. Miracle Toyota on 27 in Haines City. And, tell them I sent you. Polk County, show some love. And tell them you listen to the MJ Morning Show. Highly appreciated. It is days away from ending, folks. Oh, don't let this get away. Whatever you do not let 0.0% financing at IDC, International Diamond Center, get away. Don't let it slip through your fingers. Get the highest quality jewelry, an amazing selection of diamonds, best in the state. I mean, IDC and Keith LeClaire, known nationwide, even worldwide in the diamond trade. They have the best selection, bar none, every color, every size, every cut. They've got everything when it comes to diamonds. Engagement time, diamond upgrade time. This is the time to do it because 0% financing for 5 years. You won't pay a finance charge until 2030. Just make the monthly principal payments, zero financing. This is the time to buy. High-quality jewelry, the best designer settings from the top names. It ends on Monday, folks. The end of the month, June 30th, last day for 0.0% financing. All the jewelry, rings and necklaces and diamond stud earrings and bracelets and pendant, everything. It's IDC. Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota International Diamond Center. Tell them MJ sent you. Traffic's on 656. MJ Morning Show back in a minute.
In Clearwater, we have an accident.
MJ Morning Show, and man, this show right now, this segment, going to be a nightmare. Literally. So I don't really get nightmares. Have I had them in the past? Yeah, but, it's been a long time since I've had a nightmare, and I want to delve into Michelle's brain in just a second here. But I stumbled across something which I thought was interesting. Hey, 7 o'clock, a lot of people just getting up or, been up for a little bit. And did you have a nightmare last night? Anyone have a nightmare recently? I'm thinking about going to the nightmare phones here in just a second. I'll tell you why. I found an item, a little health item. Frequent nightmares linked to faster aging and premature death. What? And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, like the nightmare's not enough. But I feel bad if people that are listening now have frequent nightmares. Mm-hmm. I mean, that would suck. Why? If you're plagued, I wonder if we have people listening, they don't look forward to going to sleep because they know they're going to have a nightmare.
All right, what's described as a nightmare?
I think it's different for different people. It's like an unsettling, jolting, startling dream with, maybe scary, dangerous content. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I think it's open to interpretation, but I think we all have a general consensus of what, a nightmare encompasses.
I don't know. I had a buddy whose dad had pretty bad PTSD from Vietnam.
Oh, yeah.
And he would sleepwalk and get into it.
Or like night sweats or like bolt awake. Ah!
I remember him talking about this, and he's like, "Oh, my dad doesn't sleep for anything. He sleeps as little as he could, and he died early. He didn't live to be an old man."
Yeah. New research from the European Academy of Neurology. This is the 2025 Congress meeting of that organization. They link frequent nightmares to faster biological aging and an over 3 times higher risk of premature death. Our sleeping brains cannot distinguish dreams from reality.
So your brain is always working. It's never resting.
Said Obademi Oteku, a neurologist at Imperial College London. Anyway, I don't need to go too much into the science.
Oh, my God. That name is a nightmare.
But, Michelle?
Yeah.
Every once in a while, I'm trying to think of the frequency. I think it might be once a month.
Maybe about once a month.
Maybe one. I've known you for a long time. Maybe once.
Oh, have you?
Yes, I have.
You've known me for a long time.
So maybe.
Thank you.
Maybe once a month. You'll say, "Oh my God, I had a terrible nightmare," or you'll wake up and I can just tell you're unsettled. I'm like, "What's the matter?"
What, when I'm in the middle of the bed, like wedged all up next to you because there's something definitely under the bed that is creepy crawling up on top of me?
Do you remember some of the recent nightmares? Because sometimes I'll say, "What was your nightmare about?" And you'll be like, "I don't know. I just know something was wrong." So
something was chasing me on the last one, and it was a nondescript person or people, and they were there in the room for sure. So
the nightmare was taking place in our bedroom?
Oh yeah. That's why this one was really scary.
They were chasing you in the bedroom.
They weren't chasing me because I wasn't running around, but they were in the room approaching me menacingly, and I was in the bed, and I was like, okay, they're all over. So all I did was just move myself next to you as much as possible in the middle of the night.
As long as you don't get all shooty and grab your FN57, as long as you can distinguish. But hold on, in the story it said that the sleeping brain cannot distinguish between reality and a dream.
Right.
Well, that's not good.
So it's hard to go back to sleep because then you close your eyes and you're thinking oh, just go back to sleep. It's just a nightmare or a dream. But you know what? That doesn't work because then the minute I close my eyes, all I see is or feel that they're still coming after. They're still coming after me.
And you didn't see a face?
Oh no, these people were shadowed.
Oh, they were shadow people.
These people were shadowed.
The shadow people.
This particular one.
All right.
But when you're gone and out of town, you laugh, but I literally jump from 6 feet away onto the bed.
What?
Yeah. Because there's something under the bed.
No, there's nothing under the bed.
Oh, when you're not here, there is something under the bed.
Yeah, I know it's under the bed.
Right. I'm not, but I'm not dealing with anything. I'm just getting in. And then, the whole deal is you have to have a blanket on you because that's your protection.
And then I remember you told me sometime in the last year you had another nightmare. And again, sometimes you remember them, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you just know that you just have a feeling of having just a.
And your heart does wake up. I was reading the article. You do wake up with your heart racing, your pounding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. But I haven't had one of those, or I have not had a nightmare or anything I can remember in a very, very long time.
I don't remember you ever having one, but you were remembering one that I had. You said I woke up recently.
Yeah. So you woke up this sometime in the last 6 months or a year, and you had a nightmare that I was with another woman.
That sounds like a
dream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's happened like twice in our marriage.
Is that a nightmare?
And one was just in the last 6 months?
Yeah.
Do you remember the details of the nightmare? And did you just discover me out with another woman, or did I leave you for another woman, or?
No, I can't remember this one.
Michelle, you have a really warped idea of what a nightmare is. I mean, imagine what this poor woman would be like. Who would this be? Who would his side ride look like?
Just out of curiosity, let's go to the MJ nightmare phones right now. Let's turn this segment into a freaking nightmare. Right? Are you a frequent dreamer that has frequent nightmares? And I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but according to this expert group, if you have frequent nightmares, that means that you're prone to premature death.
Early death. Yeah, the more I think about it, him running around.
And faster aging.
Yeah.
Right, let's go to phones. And Fester, hold on to that thought.
I'm just going to make fun of you.
Just hold on to thought. 800-990-1047. Did you have a nightmare last night? Do you have frequent nightmares? Hey, tell us what your nightmare was about. Hey, don't you want to hear about other people's nightmares? All right, 800-990-1047. That's the number to call. Call right now. I want to hear about your nightmare, and if you have frequent nightmares, and do you notice you're aging faster, and do you feel like you're about to croak young? All right, 800-990-1047. Tell me about your recent nightmare, or maybe the nightmare you had last night, and are they rare for you, or are they common? Would love to hear from you right now. 800-990-1047. Andrew's screening away already. All right, so what are we going to say, Fester, while Andrew screens?
Michelle, I mean, listen, let's not put him running around on you in the nightmare category. I mean, if somebody has to deal with all the milk and you get all the honey, listen.
What?
That's not a bad deal.
What does that analogy even mean?
What the hell are you saying?
I'm just saying.
You having a mini stroke over there? What are you?
She knows what I mean. She
doesn't know what you mean.
Oh, she knows exactly what I mean.
All right, let me go to
that
phones.
milk no more.
You're a nightmare.
All the honey.
All right, let me grab Steve in Largo. Hi, Steve. You're on the MJ Morning Show on 104.7 FM Q105. Hello.
Hello. Good morning, MJ, Michelle, and Fester.
Yeah. Hey, did you have a nightmare last night, Steve?
Yeah, it was a brief one. My father was driving his car with someone in it, and I was behind him by myself, and my brother was in his car behind me with somebody, and we were in the middle of nowhere. None of us knew we were going, and it was before cell phones came out. And my father's a fast driver, and he went around, and my brother's a slow driver. So my father went around a curve, and I lost sight of him, and I didn't make the curve. I went straight down a hill in the grass and almost went into a lake, and that freaked me out. And then my brother didn't know where I went because he's lacking behind me, and I just panicked because no one knows where I was. I didn't know where I was, and so that was my nightmare. And I sat up. My heart was pounding.
Yeah.
And I don't have nightmares very often, and if I do, I don't remember them.
Oh, well, that's good then. So if you don't have them frequently, then you might not be a candidate for faster aging and premature death, Steve. So that's a positive.
Yeah, but what an anxious dream.
Yeah, that's good to hear.
And then to know that your dream was from a time before cell phones. So what?
Yeah.
Your dream took place, I would say, like pre-1987, 88?
Yes, probably. Yeah. Way before, the ones where you had to pull the antenna up and stand on a rock.
Yeah, or that
leg up.
My dad had like a Radio Shack cell phone, and he had to carry around a box the size of a car battery. Remember those things?
Yeah.
Seriously,
Yes.
it was like a car. It was like a car battery with a phone attached to it.
But this nightmare is sort of premised in reality because, it's you driving. It has your brother, it has family members in it. So it has like all these components. I could definitely see why the heart would be racing with that.
Steve, I'm glad you're okay. I don't want to lose any listeners. All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Did you have a nightmare last night? What was it? Do you have frequent nightmares? Because then you ought to be concerned, apparently, with your health. If you'd like to share your story, Andrew's been through a bunch of calls, and he's only given me the good stuff. So.
Here's the thing. I'm younger than you, and you always say, well, you're going ahead of me about yourself because you're older than me, and men tend to, I think, die earlier than women. But I can now catch up to you with my nightmares.
Yeah, you can go
this could really put us on the same page.
You guys can go the same week.
Yeah.
It'd be terrible.
I mean, really.
For Michelle fans.
Yeah, Andrew says he might have 3 more calls for us here, but he's being very selective.
Good.
So, all right, hang on. Let me put some of these on hold. I hear the lines are ringing. Let me grab who's on line 1. It's the old name. Hang on, let me see who it is. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who's this? Line 1, are you there? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, what's your name? Yeah, what's your name?
I'm Steve from Plant City. I think you just had another Steve.
Yeah,
hold on. I thought there was a glitch in the computer.
We had 2 Steves.
All right, so Steve in Plant City. All right, go ahead. Another Steve in Plant City. Go ahead.
Steven, no, he was in Largo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The other Steve
Steve was in Largo. This is Steve in Plant City.
I got you. All right. So 2 Steves, different locations. Go ahead, Steve.
Yes, I have nightmares all the time, but the one I wanted to talk about is I used to be a waiter for the longest time, like 15 years, and I have these reoccurring being in the weeds. When you're in the weeds as a waiter.
Super busy.
Yeah, man, you can't catch up. You're just things are just moving too fast. You can't get you just can't get things done. You're in the weeds. Yep, go ahead.
It might not sound that bad, but they are completely awful for some reason. I have them all the time, and I haven't been a waiter for 20 years, and I'm still having them to this day.
Oh yeah,
and they're weird as anything because it's like it involves weird dream stuff like walking up the stairs that never end, or you're trying to bring someone's food, but you're in like 4 feet of water and you can't move. And
hold on a minute, you're in the restaurant and you need to rush the food to the table, but suddenly you find yourself like chest high in water.
Yes, it is everything like that. It is so weird, and they do not stop. I have one at least every couple weeks, and I wake up and my heart is pounding.
Oh man.
And it is so weird. I can't. I dream every night. When I go to sleep, I will not. I hate it because
sleep. Wow, it's like a nightmare on Elm Street. Don't fall asleep. All right, so
they're not always nightmares, but I always constantly dream.
Wow.
It's so weird because I find it weird that some people never dream and some people dream all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you know what? Here's the deal. Everyone dreams. It's just whether you remember your dreams.
I think you're right, and I always remember mine.
Yeah, see, I don't. Like, for instance, last night, I have no idea what I dreamt. I have no recollection of anything that I dreamt.
I envy that.
Yeah, no recollection.
As soon as I fall asleep, I start dreaming.
Steve, I'm hoping that you're not a premature death candidate, or I hope you're not aging too fast.
Now, Steve, let me ask you.
I heard you talking about that, and I don't think so because I'm 40 something. I don't even remember. I'm 40 something, and
hold on a minute. Wait a minute. You don't know how old you are?
44.
All right.
He's in his 40s. That's what he meant. He's in his 40s.
All right, 44. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't. Everybody always guesses that I look younger, so I don't think I'm aging too fast. But who knows about the premature death? I don't know.
Well, best of luck with that, Steve. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy listening.
It
Have
makes
a good
me
one.
wonder if he could benefit from Ambien or what Michael Jackson take.
Propofol.
Yeah, I mean,
that killed him.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. All right, Tammy in Bradenton. Hi, Tammy. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. So are you a frequent nightmare recipient?
I have been since my husband died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I lost him about 4 years ago, and I lost him to addiction. And so my dreams are
Hold on. You lost him to what?
addiction. He was an addict.
Oh, sorry.
So my dreams are about he was an alcoholic. So I'll wake up in the middle of the night and like have bottles around me, or like wake up just can't breathe, and it's just like I always have him, like that part of him, like always in my bed. It's weird.
Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, Tammy. I hope you find peace. Jason in Lithia. Jason, MJ Morning Show. You're on.
Good morning. What people talk about aren't so much nightmares as a lot of times performance anxiety dreams. As a martial artist, you punch someone, kick someone, they don't feel it. As a cop, you can't pull the trigger.
All right, so Jason, what you're saying is like, I see what you're saying. So the last caller, or the second to last caller, the caller before the last caller, him as a waiter in the weeds and was having all kinds of turmoil, and he couldn't get his job done, and he couldn't get the food to the table. That's a performance anxiety dream, not really a nightmare, is what you're saying?
Correct, because they're reoccurring. So yeah, it's not really nightmare, but performance anxiety. It's more common in adults than with children. Children usually have nightmares.
Oh, what are you, a dream researcher?
No, I've studied behavior. I've been a martial artist, a cop. I've done a lot of things, and I've done a lot of research in this area. And it's very common thing. It's subconscious. That's why I don't watch horror movies anymore. I don't watch things that are going to affect my dreams.
Oh, I got you. All right, listen, Jason, informative call. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much for phoning in. All right, one more on this. We got to move on. John in Clearwater. John, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, MJ. Yeah, I didn't have a nightmare last night, but I had it the night before, and it was a scenario where I was in a house with like 4 people I didn't even know, but we knew that there was like a murderer or killer outside, and then we were just in the house. All of a sudden, the door broke down, and it was him. But
the hell? Oh, hold on. Hello?
It sounds like he just got murdered.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
The guy just...
That's awful.
He just got shanked.
Oh, my God.
What the...
Are you okay, sir?
Is he back? Is that him? All right, he might be back. Hey, is this you?
He's dead.
Hello?
It's over.
All right, Andrew said to pick up line 6. All right.
In lieu of flowers, make a charitable donation.
My God, the last we heard was there's a guy lurking outside his door, and he's having a nightmare, and then...
That's the thing of nightmares right there.
Where are you? Don't leave us hanging. We got to hear the rest of the story. Come on. Call us back. Hurry up.
Imagine a good nightmare where you call radio stations and you die while you're on the line.
I was waiting for a Fambush call. Somebody that, I was waiting for a call. Yeah, had a nightmare. I was listening to your radio show, and then I woke up and, hang on. John is alive. John was not murdered.
Oh, thank God.
John, you're telling us about some guy stalking you, and then your line goes dead. We're like, oh, my God.
I know. I thought I bored you guys, and you guys hung up on me.
No,
I'm sorry.
But,
no. So that was it. But most of my dreams also are the situation where you know you're sleeping and you're trying to wake yourself up. And it's extremely anxious when you're waking up and you can't move and everything else. So,
all right, listen, good stuff, buddy, and please stay safe. And if you do have frequent nightmares, please maybe talk to some neurologist, because I don't want you to die of premature death, or I don't want you to age faster. Thanks, man. All right, 7:20 at the MJ Morning Show. So, Fester,
yes.
you send me a blip from Reddit.
Yes.
And you want to know what profession has more people on illicit drugs than people realize.
Yeah.
Do you think we ought to go to phones?
I mean, I thought about this for a couple of reasons.
Right.
One, I work at a radio station.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I've always felt that radio stations, although I'm not a partaker in drugs, I've always felt radio stations had a high percentage of people that were.
Yeah.
If that's right or wrong, I've always felt that way.
That people work in radio, a high percentage of those individuals do drugs.
Yes. And I've just I don't even know why I felt that way, but I do. And then you talked about your buddies who are all professionals, right? Like one's like a chicken magnate, and the other one, I don't know. You said you have this group of friends, and they all do drugs, and they all have professional jobs.
Well, you know what? This could be interesting. Professions where more people are drugged up than other professions, or professions where a lot of people are all doped up. You know what? Let's grab a couple of calls on this when we get back. Oh, also, a very famous movie memorabilia item, and you'll know this. You'll 100% know this. Movie memorabilia, it's something from a movie that everyone knows. It's sold for $279,000. I'm like, oh my God, that is a ridiculous price for this thing. Buy a house for that.
Is it a piece you'd want, though?
But wait a sec. Apparently, pre-auction estimates had it as high as $600,000, so it didn't even get close to where they thought it was going to sell. What is it? We'll tell you next on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ in minutes, so stand by. Hey, Veterans Ford wants you to know that Ford employee pricing is going to run out on July 4th on most models. Cars, trucks, SUVs. You can go to Veterans Ford and you can pay for your brand new vehicle what a Ford employee pays at like the factory. It's going to run out shortly. Ford, with all the tariff talk and everything, wanted to just, kind of take the anxiety away from, Americans like you. So hurry up. You only have, 10 days left? 9 days left or so to get your Ford employee pricing. Why go to Veterans Ford? It's all about the way they treat you. It's all about the experience. You will love Veterans Ford. If you need Ford service, many people not happy with their current Ford dealer and service, and I've known numerous that have made the switch to Veterans Ford. They love it. Veterans Ford, Linebaugh, and the Veterans Expressway, and please tell them MJ sent you. WeatherTight windows. Hey, WeatherTight Mike wants you to know that they can get your job done here pretty quickly. Get your replacement windows in. Get the job done right. Early in hurricane season, things are quiet. Who knows what happens later on? We tend to need to worry about September and October. West Coast Florida, that's our little hot zone. Hopefully, this is a quiet year for us. We had our fill. But if you need replacement windows and doors, it could really make a difference. I tell a story about a listener of ours in Polk County that had WeatherTight Mike install new windows and doors last summer before hurricanes hit our area. And he's in Polk County and swears that if he did not have the new WeatherTight windows and doors from WeatherTight Mike, that his home would not have made it. And credits WeatherTight Mike. Love the experience. When you need replacement windows and doors, WeatherTightWindows.com. Right now, $200 rebate per door, $100 rebate per window. WeatherTightWindows.com. Tell them MJ sent you, and don't forget the cookies for Mike. Simple as that. IDC is also in the ticking countdown mode. In fact, if you listen carefully, there it is. Days left. It ends on Monday. What ends on Monday? 0.0% financing. This is it, folks. People wait for this one. You pay no interest charges for 5 years on your jewelry purchases. Engagement ring, diamond upgrades, beautiful designer settings from the top designers exclusively at International Diamond Center, IDC. If you need any jewelry, guys, take advantage. You need to get that special set of diamond stud earrings, maybe a nice bracelet, a necklace, a pendant, whatever. Whatever you choose, 0% financing until 2030, principal only. You'll save a fortune in finance charges. 0.0, it ends on Monday, June 30th. Hurry up. IDC, Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota. And tell them MJ sent you. 725 traffic's on. We're back in minutes. Stop MJ. So first, the movie prop. Yeah, when I heard this thing sold for $279,000, I'm like, holy crap, that's a lot. But then I read the story further, and they're like, it did not come close to the pre-auction estimates of up to $600,000. I'm like, all right, listen, it would be cool to have this, but you got money blowing out of your waz if you've got $600,000 to drop on this particular item. All right,
what is it?
All right, Fester.
Yes,
I'm going to give you. What is it? What's playing? Can you close the door? You know, I got the leakage in the studio. We keep the studio door open because this is the only studio in the building that's a freaking sauna and the air conditioning doesn't work. By the way, the new studio, if we ever make it down there, and they're hooking up one wire a day.
Not even.
So,
like 1 inch of one wire a day.
All right, so that studio, though, does get cool. So we won't, if we ever make it down the hall, I don't know if my contract's up at the end of the year.
I got news.
And I don't know if I'm going to be in there. I got to be honest. All right, so let me give you a little hint here. What movie did this memorabilia come from, and what is the actual memorabilia? Here is your audio clue.
I don't know.
Wait a minute. You can't tell from this?
No, what is it? Star Wars?
No. All right, hang on. I'll play a little bit more. Hang on. Let me give you a little longer.
Is it Addams Family?
No.
I hear Addams Family.
Hold it.
But it's not it. You said
no, it's not Addams Family. It's not.
Oh, it's Munsters. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's
Munsters. That's what.
That's
okay.
And that's what the Uma Thurman song is based on.
That's what I hear when you play it. Okay.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Not close.
Play it again.
All right. I'll give you a little longer. All right. I'll give you a little longer clip. This is the movie. The memorabilia came from this movie. No, that is incorrect.
Hold on, I got all choked up here. I choked on my own spit.
Are you?
Play it again. Play it again.
Come on, you don't know what that is?
One more time.
Oh my God.
One more time. Dun dun dun. Is like a luau movie?
It's a luau movie. What?
Yeah.
Here's the damn thing. Come on. Do you know it now?
Are these the Beatles?
Yeah.
I'm not a Beatles fan.
But hold on. But listen. It's a special version. Do you hear the crowds in the background?
I do. Okay, all right, I know what it is from.
All right,
I do.
What movie now?
Because there's a crowd in the background. Wasn't it like the parade or something during the first Bueller's Day Off?
Yes. It's Ferris on the float doing Twist and Shout.
I haven't seen that movie in. I mean, I don't think I've seen a movie in 40 years.
You know, as we were talking when I saw this item in his, prep for last night, I was thinking, has Hadley seen this movie? Would she be interested in this movie? Probably not.
You know what? Cameron had too many issues. I don't think I want to expose my kid to that degenerate. I don't need Hadley kicking the front of my car.
And having it go over like the driveway cliff.
Listen to me now, Dad.
All right. So the movie we've established is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So a prop from the movie?
A prop from the movie just sold for $279,400.
Is it the car?
No. No, it's the Ferrari?
Yeah, the Ferris Bueller Ferrari.
No, that got wrecked.
That was a prop car, I thought. They wrecked a real Ferrari?
I think they did. I don't know. Why don't you look it up? Why don't you Google it? But no. The Ferrari was put in reverse and blasted out the back glass window in Cameron's house.
I bet you the wrecked Ferrari is worth more.
Yeah. All right, so here's the item. It's that kind of, is it paisley? It's the vest.
Mm-hmm.
How do you describe what type of, what's the...
Oh, I thought it was leopard print.
What's the pattern? It's Ferris Bueller's goofy vest that he wore during the movie, just sold for $279,400. The pre-auction estimates were up to $600,000. All right, who the hell? I mean, it would be a cool thing to have, but who's got that much money that they'll drop $600,000? And it didn't go for $600,000, but even then, who's going to pay $279,400 for this thing? And I love the movie. I mean, I'm a big Ferris Bueller Days Off fan.
You just produce a corpse, and I'll release Sloan. I want to see this dead grandmother firsthand. It's all right, Grace. It's Ferris Bueller, old twerp. I'm going to set a trap and let him fall right into it.
So I'm looking at this vest. I mean, if you're a big fan and you had just throwaway money, why wouldn't you get it?
Yeah, I guess it is sort of leopard print, but not really.
No, it looks like it's
kind of an
hieroglyphics or something, like, Middle Eastern writing.
It's what? It's gold and black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's the gold and black vest that
Well, I would say tan and black.
It has a pattern to it.
There is a pattern.
Anyway.
I don't think it's... and to answer your question, they were replica vehicles that were used in the movie.
No, they were?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
By itself, it looks like an ugly sweater.
Yes.
I mean, I always thought Ferris was kind of stylish for the times, but by
Looking
itself,
back, not so much.
I don't know. I mean,
you wouldn't wear it?
So the vest sold for $279,400. It was auctioned off by Sotheby's in New York.
Oh, Sotheby's.
The vest was worn by Ferris as he played hooky and, went through Chicago. Was he wearing it at the restaurant where the sausage king of Chicago dines, Abe Froman?
Abe Froman was on the phone.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. But that's where. Yeah. But Abe Froman wasn't he trying to make a reservation? Abe Froman I'm the sausage king. Cameron
was Abe Froman.
Cameron did Abe Froman. Yeah, absolutely.
He's wearing his Gordie Howe jersey the whole time.
Yeah. So it was expected that the bidding could go up to $600,000. 11 bids, and the winner walks away with a bargain, at least compared to, you imagine, man, it's a bargain. You paid $279,400 for the Ferris Bueller vest. Oh, speaking of movies, before I move on to the drugged out coworkers that people might have, speaking of movies, I thought this was really interesting. Arnold Schwarzenegger has revealed the movie where he's made the most money, like residuals or back-end money, whatever his deal was. Do you know what movie Arnold Schwarzenegger made the most money from? And then he's revealed the amount.
Okay.
And it's unbelievable. First of all, Michelle, you know it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Michelle, I got to disqualify Michelle. So, Fester, can you guess what movie Arnold Schwarzenegger made the absolute most money from?
I mean, I think it would be Terminator.
You know what? A lot of people would think it would be I'll Be Back.
There were
Sawakana.
3 movies, right?
Yeah.
3 or 4 movies.
Yeah.
There were the toys.
Is that your final answer?
I mean, it's my
Wrong.
What, something stupid? Was it something stupid like Kindergarten Cop or something?
Oh, you're getting close. See, I would have thought True Lies.
Yeah. Not True Lies
Right.
with Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh, my God. She looks so good in that movie.
What about...
Jamie Lee Curtis looked
and not
phenomenal.
Tia Carrera?
What?
Tia Carrera,
Oh,
wasn't
no.
she in that?
No, yeah, Tia Carrera, yes, but Jamie Lee Curtis did it for me more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know who looked great in that movie?
The bedroom scene, yeah. What?
Tom Arnold looked great. Oh, my God. I really became a big Tom Arnold fan after that.
Fester has fantasies about Tom Arnold. Yeah. Man.
He does it for me.
All right. So, Kindergarten Cop was my guess. So when I
really?
Yeah, that I would have thought, because I knew Terminator would be too easy, and then I thought Kindergarten Cop, but I was wrong.
What's the famous line from that movie?
It's not a tumor.
Yeah. Maybe it's a tumor.
We've got the Andrew. Just play it from him there. Find it's not a tumor.
All right, so it's not Terminator, not Kindergarten Cop.
Right.
Didn't he have a greatest action hero? Not Conan the Barbarian, his first movie?
Nope. All right. Arnold Schwarzenegger has made over $40 million from this movie. Obviously, he was paid something up front, or maybe he did take back-end money. but the movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger made the most money from, an individual movie, over...
It's not a tumor.
No, it's not that one.
That's not the movie.
I know. I told you to play it. All right, but here it is. Here is the audio bite from the movie that's produced over $40 million for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'm your twin brother.
Twins?
Yes. Surprise.
With Danny
I'm your
DeVito?
twin brother.
Yes.
I'm your twin brother.
Twins, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito. And is there supposed to be a sequel to this thing?
How? They're both old men.
Hang on a sec. There was supposed to be. Hold on, Andrew, turn on your microphone.
Yes.
All right, so you're saying it might have been shelved?
Yeah, originally it was supposed to have a triplet. The movie is going to be called Triplets.
Oh, wait a minute, from twins to triplets?
And their third brother originally was cast with Eddie Murphy.
Wait a sec. So triplets were going to be Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Eddie Murphy?
Yes.
And it got shelved?
It got, well, in 2021, it was changed to Tracy Morgan.
Oh.
No, Eddie would have been better.
A squirrel.
And since then, it appears to have been shelved.
Okay. Did they realize that maybe it's not a good idea? Just leave the twins
You know,
thing alone.
a funny movie's a funny movie.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. More money than I made on any movie ever. Twins, says Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And so how is that, though? You got to ask, because it only has like 42% on the Rotten Tomatoes. I mean...
Yeah, it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
I thought it sucked.
Here's how.
Yeah.
He took no salary.
Yeah, he took back... Okay, so he took back-end money.
Yeah, so none of the budget were for actor salaries.
All right. I wonder if DeVito did the same thing, or if he came up short.
I think both. No, both. I think when he was on. I'm looking up here. He was on.
Oh my gosh, that movie made $216 million at the box office.
Twins?
Yes.
All right, Fester, moving on to drugs. So, Fester, you stumbled across this. You love Reddit.
I do.
Reddit is like the Fester gold mine. Fester goes back to the Reddit well like hourly.
I find a lot of interesting things that just kind of pique my interest that I think we could kind of transition into something we could talk about on the morning show.
So you found a Reddit thread. What profession has way more people on illegal drugs than people realize?
That's just the question. I mean, and then you can. Then there was like 10,000 comments, and I don't get into the comments, but
I printed out 7 pages of comments.
Did you really?
Oh, I did. Yeah, lawyers, holy F. I'm self-employed, the place I work at. That dude is stoned all the time.
Ooh.
Get it? He's self-employed. The place I work is
right.
the dude is stoned. It's him. You know what?
I didn't get it.
Fester, you made a comment that you thought that working in radio since the mid-1990s, you think that the drug usage that you're aware of at stations you've worked at is excessive?
I don't know. I mean, I think in my youth, I lived an adventurous, sheltered life.
Yeah.
I never saw marijuana growing up. You know, I think like I saw cigarettes. I think my uncle liked scotch. I mean, I never saw drugs. I never saw cocaine. I never saw, people who were strung out.
Really?
Then I get to the radio station as an intern.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys have weed. A lot of guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it felt like a lot of guys. A lot of the guys that I had to run with, it felt like had weed. And then some of the guys had cocaine.
Can you whisper to me one of them?
Which one?
The weed?
But the coke was admitted.
We know that one.
Anybody who was a board operator was potted out of their mind.
Really?
Yeah.
Listen, hey, BJ, he came on the show after BJ split from me, and the MJ and BJ morning show became the MJ morning show. BJ, after we were estranged for a number of years, BJ came back. Remember, he flew in, and we did a whole intervention revelation show.
Yeah, BJ had an issue. A couple of guys had an issue that I would hear of or know of or seen once or twice, and I'm like, this isn't my thing. I'm like, where's the refrigerator? Where's the food?
Let's go to phones.
They were having a party, a bunch of Coke. I mean, is there Coca-Cola? I'm coming.
Let's hit a couple of calls here. 800-990-1047. What profession might people not realize has way more people on illegal drugs than what people realize? What occupation? What do you do? Or what have you observed? What line of work are just a crap ton of people all drugged up?
And then, what's drugs? I mean,
well, I would say, cocaine, methamphetamine.
I mean, guys smoking a little bit of pot.
Doing some bumps,
Doing some bumps.
Well, bump of cocaine.
Bump of cocaine.
Yeah,
Where do you even know that language from?
A guy
All right.
he used to do it off the secretary's shoulder.
Let's go to phones.
Ew,
All right.
gross.
Off of Sierra Mange's shoulder. All right, 800-990-10. I've never done coke in my life.
No.
I've never smoked a joint in my life. I've inhaled secondhand marijuana smoke, but I have never smoked pot in my life. I've done no illicit drugs ever. All right, let's hit the phones. Look, every line is already lit. Every line. What line of work are way more people on drugs than people realize? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. And then right after this, I'm going to get to my teased item, which is, are you a returnaholic? So do you buy stuff and return stuff all the time? You got to hear this. This is a little new twist here. We'll get to that in just a second. First, let me grab some calls. Angelo, Lake Wales is first up.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Angelo. Near the, they're doing a whole refurb of the Bach Tower out there, man. It's all exciting.
Are they? Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You didn't even know that, did you? Yeah. All right, go ahead, Angelo.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I would say sales.
What kind of sales? What type of sale?
Well, I've sold a lot of things. I would say probably everything. And the root cause of it, in my opinion, is there's no certainty as to your income. And what happens is if you're a yacht salesman and you sell a yacht, you make $50,000, you do maybe 3, 4, 5 of those a year, and you're all set. But you may go a year and only sell one.
Yeah.
And anything even down to car sales and.
All right, so Angelo, are you telling me you sold yachts?
No, but I know people that have.
Okay.
I've sold a lot of things, not yachts, but I sold a lot of things. I even know people that sell the granite throughout the world for skyscrapers to be built.
Oh, wow.
And they make one sale and they make a couple of $100,000. So they look to make 1 or 2 a year.
And you're talking about they make a couple $100,000 just in commissions?
Commission, sure.
Sure.
Wow. All right.
Sure.
So, Angelo, what drug in your experience? Your hold on a minute. Your yacht salesman friends, your granite salesman friends, your car sales. So, what's the drug of choice?
Usually Coke.
Yeah, bumps. Look at that.
Yeah, and it gets bumped up.
Yeah.
To worse things.
Hold on. Like what? Like what? Heroin?
Yeah, sure. Sure, they can't get a high anymore. They wind up all screwed up. I mean,
Wow.
It's just the uncertainty of the income. They make a ton of money. They get a rush. It's almost like gambling. And then they go a long period of time. They don't make anything.
Can you imagine Skippy shows up to get his yacht, and then the salesman's all strung out on heroin.
Where the hell have you been,
Yeah,
Skippy?
I don't know like to comment on Ferris Bueller's vest.
What was that?
I'd like to comment on Ferris Bueller's vest.
Go ahead, and I got to move on. Go ahead, Angelo.
Jeff Bezos is getting married this weekend. I think I know what he's wearing to the wedding.
Oh, Jeff Bezos is going to wear the Ferris Bueller. He's the buyer of Ferris Bueller's vest. Thank you.
It's got to be. It's either him or it's Zuckerberg or it's Musk. It's one of them.
Thank you, Angelo. Michelle in St. Pete. Michelle, what line of work are people on more illicit drugs than people realize?
Healthcare workers.
Oh, like what? Like nurses and doctors?
Yeah, I mean it happens a lot more than you think. I mean, I'm a NICU nurse, but I personally know a nurse who overdosed at work.
You're a neonatal intensive care unit nurse?
I am.
And you see other like RNs?
No, I've never seen it personally, but I have a friend who was also a nurse, worked at a different hospital, and she overdosed on medications from a patient in the bathroom of the hospital.
So wait, hold on. What? Wait, hold on. The nurse was pilfering medications from a patient and OD'd in a bathroom at the hospital?
She did. Her fiance at the time, she never came home, and he was calling us, calling everybody, trying to find out where she was. Finally called her work, and they went around to all the bathrooms and found one that was locked and had to kick the door down, and she was in there.
Okay, MJ, hold on.
It's like Nurse Jackie. Remember that show?
Mm-hmm. Michelle, I don't know if this is what we're looking for, though, because it sounds like you've described two fairly isolated incidents of people with really bad issues.
No, I've heard.
But no, we're looking. Are you saying that like 3/4 of the nurses out there are all like smoking weed and stuff? Like I walk into my doctor's office, everybody's high.
But I think there is a high incidence of healthcare workers that get involved in street drugs because they start off with something less. They may steal narcotics from patients, or that's kind of hard to do these days. But
with Nurse Jackie, they went to the dispenser machine. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle, thanks for the call. Again, listen, this is why we're taking calls faster. It's like professions where there's a higher amount of drug use.
I think every profession has somebody doing drugs.
Let me grab
every profession.
PT is calling in from Austin, Texas. PT, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Oh, my gosh. I've been a long time listening for a long time.
Are you from the Tampa area?
What, again?
Hold on, PT, are you from the Tampa Bay area?
No, sir. I'm from actually Texas. You're like an hour ahead of me.
Yeah, so how did you find us if you live in Austin, Texas?
I actually used to live in St. Louis like a long, long time ago.
Oh.
I listened to you guys in high school.
You listened to us when we were on in St. Louis for 14 years, yeah. All right, so PT, what profession are more people drugged out than people realize?
Well, since I worked in the kitchen, it's probably the food service area, so probably the kitchen.
Did you ever read, who Anthony Bourdain was, right?
Yes, yes.
So Anthony Bourdain wrote that book, Kitchen Confidential, which is a great freaking book. You know what? That dude was a good cook. He was but he was a better storyteller. That guy, his words are prolific. Anthony Bourdain, you read that book, and he wrote it. But even when you watch the Anthony Bourdain, like the TV, the shows where he's going, he wrote all the narratives, and they're just brilliantly written.
Yes.
Anyway, PT, in Kitchen Confidential, Anthony
hold on,
Bourdain.
you're a little lower. It's only because I'm not in the speaker's phone. So could you hold on?
You want me to yell? Hold on, you got a megaphone.
Don't yell in the megaphone.
No, I'm not in speakerphone. There you go. I'm so sorry, sir.
I just put new batteries in it.
Did you put them in, or did we not put them in?
I put them in. Now it's not my. Now it's working. All right. Can you hear? Hey, PT, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In the Anthony Bourdain book, he talks about everybody was on drugs in the kitchen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's good. All right. Well, very good. Hey, listen, PT, I appreciate you calling.
Thank you.
All right, have a lovely day. All right, one more call on this. We got to move on. Paige is in Tampa. Paige, you're on the MJ Morning Show. What's a profession where people are on drugs much more than people realize?
So listen, I would imagine like anybody that can write themselves a prescription, or anybody that's got to listen to people's problems all day, like a therapist or a psychiatrist, I would imagine would probably be on some pretty serious stuff.
Well, hold on, but this is not. You can imagine. This is like
No, I don't know from experience, but like, listen, I'm in therapy, and I know I got some pretty weird issues, and I couldn't imagine my therapist being sober half the time. She had to listen to me.
No, but I think that's a big red flag. I don't think a doctor can write themselves their own prescription for scheduled drugs.
I would really hope not. That would be a whole other situation.
Hey, so more importantly, Paige, I'm curious, man. What are your issues?
I got a little bit of PTSD and depression, but like nothing like extensive. I mean, well, I was listening to your nightmare situation earlier, and I wanted to call in on that, but I'm like, I'm going to save it.
All right.
But yeah.
Well, I hope that you find peace and that your therapy is working.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
Okay,
I'm in a
hold
much
on.
better world. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Paige.
Paige sounds like she has some big issues if she thinks she's driving her psychiatrist to drugs.
One last call here, and you want to talk about a nightmare. Oh, man. Bill is in Holiday. Yes, Bill.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What profession might be drugged up more than people realize?
You might not want to hear this, but
I know. I can see it on the screen. I know I don't want to hear it.
right, yeah, I got my CDL. I'm not one of them, but talk to people. You see them. Here's the crazy part: they dip a toothpick in cocaine and they chew on the toothpick while they're driving. And
he's talking about truck drivers.
Oh wait.
Yeah, I mean it's a sad truth. Even when I was going to school for it,
I never heard of that in my life. You're telling me that that's a thing? You dip a toothpick in cocaine and then you chew on the toothpick?
You dip your toothpick in cocaine. Hey, go to truck stops and if you see truck drivers walking with toothpicks in their mouth, I'm telling you, it's a thing, man. It's hard as it is to want to believe, it's a thing.
Oh man, that is scary. And you're towing what? You're pulling 65,000 pounds.
Right? Yeah. Oh, well. Hey, you guys are the best, man. Keep up the great work.
All right, thank you. Oh my God, that's a nightmare. You got a guy driving 55-foot trailer packed with weight, and he's all coked up.
They were going for Coors, not cocaine.
Do you know that Michelle has never seen Smokey and the Bandit?
Yeah, no desire.
What do you mean, no desire? Sally Field, Burt Reynolds, Jerry Reed? Come on.
It sounds like a dude's movie.
Jackie Gleason?
Yeah, but it sounds like a dude's movie.
It's a comedy. It's a comedy.
Right.
It's a love story.
It's a great movie.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, between Sally Field and Burt Reynolds.
Every kid wanted that black Trans Am with the gold eagle on the hood, man. Yes, Andrew.
How did nobody say musicians and actors?
Yeah.
I mean,
because that's a given.
Yeah, those almost seem too obvious.
Hold on,
right.
because, dude, what are you on drugs in there?
No,
Because
you asked which to be
Yeah,
used the most.
you didn't exclude anything.
Andrew, because the story was, what profession has more people on drugs than people realize? And people realize that musicians and actors are on drugs.
Yeah, I acknowledge that.
Yeah, hello.
I mean, that's like from the Department of Obvious.
Yes, hello. It's
which is right next to the Department of Redundancy Department.
It's the Department of Redundancy.
That's what I said.
Is that what it is?
The Department of
Did you
Redundancy.
say it sounded like you didn't say it right.
No, the Department of Redundancy Department. That's why it's a joke.
All right, 7:54 at the MJ Morning Show. Are you a return-aholic?
I know so many people like this. I don't even know what you're talking about, and I've got.
You don't know where this is going yet. Oh, this is going in a very, very interesting direction. And I might need to go back to phones on this. This is a very phone active day. Like Monday, I don't think we took one freaking call. And then what is today? Today's Wednesday. I got calls out the wazoo today. All right, so Michelle, you're not a returnaholic. I mean, by and large, what percentage of crap that you and I order, what percentage goes back?
Very little now.
What percent? If you were to assign a percentage,
like maybe 1%.
Well, I mean, it's low.
It's so low.
Yeah, it's low. So if you're a returnaholic, there's a little bit of an interesting twist here. Now, we've had stories over the years where Amazon, didn't they ban some people that, or they would like try to.
That's urban legend. Because if
we did the story.
If they haven't banned my wife, she returns. She's on the first name basis with the guy at the UPS store.
All right. So if Michelle and we claim that our returns constitute maybe 1% of our purchases, what percentage of your wife's purchases are returns, Fester?
75%.
Oh, my God. Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. So here's the new twist. Places that when you go to return it, they say, don't worry about it. You know, this has happened to us a couple of times. Remember, I think we ordered like a leashes or a harness leash collar thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. I think it was too small.
Yeah.
And I think we ordered it from like Chewy or something.
That's right.
And then I contacted Chewy. I'm like, yeah, this is too small. I need to return this. And they said, don't worry about it. We'll give you the credit and just go ahead and throw it away or donate it to an animal shelter or something.
They wanted you to donate it.
Yeah. But this is you know what? We need to go to phones on this.
Okay.
We do. So as I tell the story, I'd love to hear from you. Have you experienced this increasing phenomenon where when you go to return something, the company says, don't worry about it. Dispose of it, keep it, do what you want, we'll issue the credit. Has this happened to you? And apparently this has a very positive effect that companies are learning that if you do need to return something and they say, yep, heck with it, screw it, just keep it, throw it away, whatever, donate it. The companies are learning that with a lot of customers, it builds a loyalty.
Yeah.
And that it's worth it because if you tell someone on an occasional return, just don't worry about it, you don't need to return it, that people keep going back to that company. So it pays off for them in customer loyalty. Americans return. And let's go to phones. 800-990-1047. I'd love to hear stories from listeners that have experienced nope, you don't need to return it. toss it, keep it, whatever you want to do with it. 800-990-1047. So I would love to hear stories from listeners right now that have had this experience where the company says, nope, no need to return it. And I'd like to know, does that, as many are saying, and this research, that it builds amazing customer brand loyalty for the company? So, look, the phones are ringing. Andrew, screen them. Put them on hold. We'll grab calls in a second. 800-990-1047. I'd love to know, like, the biggest item. I'd love to know, like, the most expensive thing that somebody needed to return, and they said, nope, just keep it. Toss it.
Didn't you say you had that with, like, furniture with Wayfair?
Yeah.
I was going to say that was us. So you know what?
Yeah.
A lot of times now I will shop with Wayfair because I know that if I get it and I send them the pictures the day it arrives, if it's broken and busted, they'll just be like, all right, no worries. We'll send you a new one. Do you want another one? Or, replace it or just credit me.
Yeah,
It's no issue.
So Wayfair, our issue with them was just getting damaged crap. When we were up in New York for a spell, we just bought, like, just crappy, cheap furniture. And a lot of stuff just came damaged, like the corner bashed in, and there were a couple of times where like a couple of dressers came and they were damaged, and call them up. I'm like, yeah, this is damaged. Send us some pictures, and you send some pictures, and do you want us to send you a new one? And on two of the dressers, it was like the damage was like in the back, and you really couldn't see it, but it was damaged.
Yeah,
and they're like, do you want new ones? I'm like, nah. We'll just use these because the damage is somewhat hidden, but it was damaged.
But they still give you your money back?
They gave us the money back, and we didn't have to send the crap back. So we just had so how much in free crap? And legitimately, we're not scammers. Yeah. We're not scam artists. But how much in free furniture would you estimate we got from Wayfair?
Probably like almost $2,000.
Yeah, I was going to guess about $2,000.
Wow.
Because it was nightstands, maybe a desk, and maybe a bed. And it just inevitably would show up, and you could see the box. It was damaged, and you feel bad because I was like trying to outfit the whole apartment, but it did.
All right, phones are loaded. Americans return $816 billion worth of merchandise every year. So knocking on $1 trillion of merch is returned. Most retailers see this as a massive headache, but a few smart ones are turning it into an effective strategy to earn customers' trust. According to new research from the University of Notre Dame, returnless returns, that's what it's called. So I learned something new. Returnless returns. You want to return something, but you don't need to return it. They just give you credit. Keep it. Eat it. Throw it away.
Goes to show you the markup and all this stuff.
Companies like Amazon, Walmart, Chewy, and Target have quietly rolled out these policies, often on a case-by-case basis. Now, we've had a couple of Amazon returns in the last year, and I've had no returnless returns. But probably a little over a year ago or 2 years ago, I had a couple of things with Amazon where they said, no need to return the item. So, look, phones are jammed on this. The psychology of generosity, just the brand loyalty. All right, let's hit it. Let's go to Ian first in Oldsmar. Ian, MJ Morning Show, welcome.
Hey.
Hey, Ian, what did you try to return? And they said, nope, don't bother.
Well, actually, I work in retail.
Yep.
And so I do a lot of returns because I work on the customer service side.
Yep.
So we've kind of quietly, especially when it comes to customer service, a lot of people, they tend to realize, oh, wait, I don't need to return this. And they'll come back. So they'll come in angry. And then all of a sudden you kind of see that anger turn into happiness of because they didn't have to deal with a hassle.
I got you.
And so,
do you mind telling us where you work?
I work at Lowe's.
Okay, yeah. Big box store.
And so, yeah.
So hold on. I buy a couple of 2x4s, and they say, oh, I got to return them. But you don't take them?
No. So with the it depends on the items. So, really it's with plants. It's a lot of plants because if there's a lot of people, they have a weird policy where you have to bring in these plants and you have to keep the original pot and you have to keep the, actual original plant. And it's just a hassle for us to take it.
Oh, I got you.
And so,
but if somebody lugs the item all the way to the store, I mean, they're not going to lug it back home, are they?
No. So, so in that case, what it is they're like, the item's broken, and they're like, hey, can we just get like store credit or do an exchange?
Right.
And then it's just like, we could tell them no, which then in that case we're gonna have an argument because just patience is out the window now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or we could just be like, yeah, let me just give you the store credit. You can leave it right there. We'll throw it out for you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll damage it out, whatever, and you just get another piece of wood, and you come back and you spend, a couple more.
Yeah,
grand.
but that's the typical return
that's
process.
how returns work.
Yeah,
Ian.
Yeah, that's the typical return one. But for a while, they wouldn't even allow that.
Okay.
I don't know why at Lowe's they wouldn't allow that, but now they're starting to allow that again.
I don't know if
what
this is
made them
exactly
stop.
what we're looking for.
Ian, I appreciate the call, but
I have to bring it back in. It's not the
Andrew. The first call you gave me is really not
so listen, the good news
thing
is
we want.
every call from here has the potential of being much better.
All right, it can only get better from here. All right, Mia in Wesley Chapel. Hi, Mia.
Hey, good morning.
Yeah, go ahead, Mia.
Wow. Twin size memory foam mattress, Amazon.
Hold on. You ordered a twin size memory foam mattress on Amazon, and what happened?
Yes. And when we got it, we kept it for about 2 weeks because, you're supposed to let it inflate, get back to its regular size.
Right.
And it felt terrible. It felt absolutely terrible.
Right.
So we figured that we're just, going to try and squish it down, stick it back in the box, and we called them to let them know. We kind of got this thing in a box. It took 3 of us to get everything all squished back down.
Right.
And they were like, nope, don't worry about it. Keep it.
Well, see,
So
Andrew,
what
this should have been the first call.
See,
yeah. This is what
no, it gets better.
wait a second. All right.
I'm here for it.
The mattress felt so terrible that we were like, okay, we need to get a memory foam topper.
All right, now, hold on a minute. Did the after they told you don't need to return it and the mattress was free, did it suddenly feel better?
No.
Okay, I'm just curious.
It still felt terrible. So we ended up going through, I want to say like 3 memory foam toppers. 2 of them ended up going back.
Right.
One of them felt halfway decent. So
so the mattress was so bad that you had to try to put a topper on top to make it feel better.
And then you returned those.
And then you had 2 toppers that felt like crap, and then 1 topper felt good?
Exactly.
Well, it sounds like you could have just purchased a piece of plywood from Ian at Lowe's and just put the topper on top of that.
Exactly. That's exactly how it felt because we tried it.
How much was the mattress? How much was the memory foam twin mattress that you think felt like crap?
It was almost $300.
Gotcha.
Have you ever bought a memory foam mattress, MJ?
You know what? I never
like
purchased.
in the box.
Listen to me. I've never purchased one, but for my syndicated show, I did commercials for Casper.
Yeah.
And we got numerous mattresses for free because I was endorsing Casper mattresses, and those things come all wedged up and jammed up like an egg roll.
But once
in a box, and then it opens up, and it's.
You're never getting it back in that box again. You're never squishing the air out.
Right.
So how could you return that mattress? How could they ship it?
They've got like a hydraulic press the size of a dumpster that like squeezes that thing into a box, I think.
They must.
Yeah.
A vacuum that sucks
Yeah.
all that air.
Yeah.
A mortal could not do it.
Yeah. Mia, thanks for the call. Is there anything else, Mia, or does that cover it?
Nope, that's it.
Oh, and did you finally find a memory foam topper that you liked? Yes?
Yes, we did.
And then you kept it on the crappy mattress?
Kept it on the crappy mattress.
And are you still sleeping on that crap today?
Yes.
Excellent.
All right.
All right, thank you. All right, and is it your bed, Mia?
Yes, it is.
All right, so are you with somebody else in that bed?
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, it's just you, because I was going to say, if 2 people and a twin, that might be a tight fit.
No. Mm-mm. No, it's just me.
All right, Mia, thank you for the call. All right, that was much better, Andrew. All right, Margarita. Oh, Michelle's favorite pizza, Margarita. Margarita, where is Center Hill?
I don't know.
Where the hell is Center Hill?
Center Hill. We are 30 minutes west of Orlando. I'm in Sumter County.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, welcome, Center Hill, Florida.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
town.
either have I. And
The
you're
villagers hasn't made their way over here, guys.
Yeah.
I'm undercover.
Well, thank you. It's near Webster and Bushnell.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Hey,
Bushnell, correct.
how does our signal come in there? Pretty well?
Pretty well. I have Verizon. from my carrier.
No,
And,
hold on. Are you listening to us on 104.7 FM or are you listening to us streaming?
drive to work.
So in the car?
FM. Yes.
So the car radio.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. Fantastic. All right. So what's your return story?
Return story is Assurance through Verizon.
Oh, yeah, the company where you insure your device.
Yeah. So I thought it was a fluke, right? I'm like, let's get it. What are the odds? We have 5 kids, a bunch of electronics. Why not? It's inexpensive. It's like $5 a week. So we buy a 65-inch flat screen. Kid you not, this Mother's Day weekend, my husband puts it up in the kitchen area because I like to watch TV while I'm cooking. And somehow the kids put a BB gun, used a BB gun to attack the corner. And I said, what's that line, that blue line in the screen?
Hold on. The kids shot your new TV with a BB gun?
Yes, they did.
Oh, my
That is
God.
some real Sumter County
nobody
stuff.
owned up to it. So I said, well, who the heck did it? And they said, oh, it must have been our dog, Canelo. It must have been the dog.
Oh, no. So your kids are blaming the dog for shooting the TV with a BB gun?
Yeah, they had no idea. Nobody knew what the heck I was talking about.
How old is little rats?
Oh, my gosh. The oldest is 20 and the youngest is 8.
So who shot the TV? How old?
No, listen, they plead fifth. No one took ownership of it.
Nobody claimed credit for hitting the new TV with a BB gun.
No.
All right, so
And
what?
I knew for a fact because the little dent.
What
I'm like,
happened?
that's a BB gun. So what happened is I'm like, let me just go on a whim and just call. That's what this is for, right?
Yeah.
I'm an insurance agent. So, I'm a PNC, agent. So I kind of know the claim process, only the home side, but I'm like, what are the odds? Let me just call. I've only had this policy for a couple months. And believe it or not, no questions asked. I got to keep the TV. And they had a TV with almost the same kind of TV that I had within 2 to 3 days, delivered to my doorstep.
And what
So
about the old
take a
TV?
picture. So they took a picture of the old TV. I had it on the front porch, just like they told me. And I don't know what phone call was made, but they said, you know what, just keep the TV.
Yeah, they
I'm
don't
like,
want
what do
it.
you mean?
They don't want a broken TV.
And I said, how? So I'm thinking fraud, right? I'm I'm like, what happens if these claims are just going off the door and no one's having so my insurance brain takes me to that department.
Sure. All right. So what do you do with the damaged TV with the BB gun shot?
Yeah. Well, then listen, it gets better. Who's going to take a recycled TV?
Right.
Where am I going to drop it off? Because remember, these are like the batteries.
You just throw it behind a big lots like what Fester does.
You dump it on the side of the road.
Yeah.
The county will get it. They got a plan.
Yeah. So a friend of mine offered to take it.
Yeah, fine. It's probably up in their living room.
Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Have a great day, guys.
You too. Thanks for calling from Center Hill, Florida, which is the first time I've ever heard of that place. All right, let me grab 3 more quickies here, then we got to move on. Jerry in Wesley Chapel. Jerry, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Do you have a returnless return story?
Yes, I do. Home Depot.
What'd you return?
A shop vac that we cleaned up. We used to clean up a flooded basement. And they opened the box. They look at it. As long as the outside was clean, they didn't look at the filter. They didn't look at the hose.
No. Hold on a minute. See, this again is not. Andrew, this is not. All right, so hold on. So what happened with the vacuum? You bought it, you used it, it worked fine, and then you returned it.
There you go.
So
hold on, and that's it.
That's it.
So you're a scam artist.
Hold on, but they took it. They took it back, and they gave you a refund.
They gave you store credit.
I see, but this is not. All right, Jerry, listen, this is not what. All right, Jerry, thanks for calling. All right, that's not what we're looking for.
Yep, I returned a pair of pants that were too tight. They took it back, no problem.
This is not just regular returns. This is a returnless return where you buy something, you go to return it, and they say, don't worry about returning it. Just keep the item, and we're going to give you the credit. So we had a couple of calls sneak through that.
I have to believe that this is exclusively to phone or internet transactions.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's typically an internet purchase or an app purchase. All right, let me try. Let me see if I have any better luck here. Sam is in Largo. Yes, Sam.
Hey, all right. So about 7 years ago, I bought a bed off of Wayfair. It had a wooden backboard, wooden footboard. I open up the box, I get all the parts out, and the wooden headboard is actually split.
Yeah.
So I call up Wayfair and I tell them, hey, the headboard is split. And they're like, well, we can't get you a new headboard. Why don't you just donate it or throw it out? We'll send you a new one.
Yep.
I'm waiting for them to get back to me. And they tell me, oh, we don't have it in stock. I'm like, okay. So they just gave me a refund, and because I do woodwork, I fixed it myself.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking for. So,
Yeah.
man, our average on we had two
Listen,
two calls that had nothing to do with our segment.
Remember Babe Ruth? He struck out a lot, but still,
I
he had a
think
lot of home runs.
I think Andrew might be that workplace drug user.
No, I think you probably should have said this really applies to online shopping.
And listen, it's pretty
We-
clear.
I think we just kind of realized.
Obviously, it wasn't clear.
Sam, thank you. All right, last call on this, and we got to move on. Emory in Tampa. Look, all the phones are blasting again. Emory in Tampa, go ahead.
Hey guys, listen, I deliver freight for a living, okay? I'm delivering freight right now. I delivered a bookcase to a nursing home, a while back, and, it had a small damage on it, and they wanted to refuse it. And I said, hey, listen, I'll write it up that I delivered it that way and just call the shipper, and, they'll make it right. And they ended up calling the shipper, and the shipper told them, go ahead and throw away the old one, and they sent him a brand new one. Now, here's what the trick.
And what they did is they didn't throw away the old one. Now they have two bookcases for the price of one.
Exactly. Here it is. Shipping and receiving costs a lot of money, okay? So, these places are realizing, hey, this is going to cost us a lot more money to get this damaged crap back.
Yeah, it's cheaper just to wash your hands of it rather than having to pay for it to get returned and then process it.
But I promise you, if you buy a $4,000 refrigerator and you call them, or a generator, and you call them and say, hey, I got a dent in my refrigerator, I don't want it, they're not going to tell you to throw it. They're going to come get it.
Yeah.
That costs a lot more money.
Yeah, it depends on the item. Yeah,
but
good call.
It's a price point. You're right.
Yep.
But shipping is the same on two things that are the same size.
One more call here. Mary in St. Pete. Mary, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well.
Brooks Running Shoes, greatest company.
Hold on. What did you say? Brooks?
Brooks Running Shoes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. My daughter and I owned the same pair of running shoes. We ended up with like a hole in the toe, and we both were like, this is really weird. Contacted the company, told them the situation, sent them a picture of the shoes, and they sent us both brand new shoes. They were like, great, no problem.
All right, and they didn't have you return the old ones?
No.
All right.
Well, they had a hole in the toe.
Yeah, and so both of you guys had the same hole in the shoe?
The same exact spot.
Yeah, sounds like a manufacturing defect or like a design problem or something.
But I bought the next pair of fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Hey, brand loyalty. All right. 8:15, rolling up on 8:16 at the MJ Morning Show. I don't know if this is happening to you, but we've got like a rash of like these e-scooter bikes in my neighborhood that teenagers are riding, and there's like one adult guy that's like in his mid to late 20s in my neighborhood that rides around on one of these e-scooter bikes like a freaking banshee. And I mean, those things will do like 50 miles an hour, man. They will fly.
I have one in my neighborhood, and the guy does what seems like the speed limit or higher, and he's whizzing and taking turns sharp.
They're doing wheelies in my neighborhood. So with these e-bikes, it seems everyone I see, they're doing wheelies, and they're wearing helmets. Okay. So, but there's this one guy, and listen, I see a crap load in my neighborhood. I come across a lot of stuff. Why? Because I walk 30 miles a week in my neighborhood.
Yeah, you and Hank.
When
Hank's the hobo. Hank the
So-
hobo. Hank the homeless. He does a lot of walking too.
I see a lot. Almost got run over by an e-bike. This guy's coming around a corner, blows right through a stop sign, and I'm just walking, and almost got run over at dusk last night by a freaking e-bike. And it's like, oh my God, they are going, I think in some cases almost double the speed limit, because speed limit in residential in Tampa is 25 miles an hour.
You think they're going 50 miles an hour?
Yeah, they're going.
That's pretty fast.
They're going at least 40 and change. I mean, they are flying. And this dude, he's looking around and almost runs into me. I'm just a pedestrian out for a walk. And I'm telling you, they're menaces. And, I saw one guy bite it. This is a couple of months ago, and I'm walking actually on my street, and there were like 3 kids on e-bikes, and they were probably 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there. And one of the kids is doing a wheelie and pops it up as he's hitting the accelerator or whatever, the throttle.
The throttle. Yeah.
And he bites it and goes backward and smashes on the ground. He was doing a wheelie and then lost control and flips back and just buys it on the pavement. I'm like, oh my God, man, that would have been like 1 million views if I would have. I was like kicking myself that I didn't, because he was already doing the wheelie. I'm like, oh man, I should have rolled video.
Okay, so listen, dude.
Yeah.
I was thinking, and I thought about this when Shorty Shane was here.
Right.
You need to get a pair of those Google glasses for your walks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just record your walk, and if nothing happens, nothing happens. But just record it and then delete it.
I mean, I have said you need to get body cam.
Do you know how much I would want to see you get hit by an electric bike? I would watch that 100 times.
Yeah.
I'd call everybody around. Hey, Hadley, come here. Look at this. Here's Uncle MJ.
Yeah.
Watch this. He's fine. Walking. Boom! Got him.
Yeah.
Watch it again.
The other day I had a run-in with some punks in the neighborhood, and I'm just walking, and they start yelling at me. I'm like, well, you know what? That's a good idea. How much are the Google glasses?
I don't know. I mean, a couple $100.
And then what does it record on? Does it go to the cloud? How does it record?
I don't know. I know nothing about it.
Is there a SD card in the damn thing? Or
you know what? This sounds like a project for Julian. He can, research this for you.
Look up glasses.
Look up Google glasses.
All right. So look.
How much are they?
Meta glasses.
There's the Meta glass. What does Shorty Shane have?
I don't know. I mean,
maybe they're not Google. Maybe they're Meta.
I don't know. They ranges from like $300 to $500, $600.
You know what? I need to get these damn things.
Here,
I mean, it's like a dash cam for your schnoz.
Google glasses.
Yeah, is it Google?
I think all these companies have something now. I would think. I think Google was the first one I ever heard of.
You know what? That's the smartest thing you've said all week. That I need to get. Let me call Shorty Shane. Let me see what he has. And we had Shorty Shane in on the show earlier this week on Monday.
Yeah.
And Shorty Shane is kicking himself. He was wearing his Google, or he was wearing his recording glasses while he was in the studio. And when he got attacked by the neighbor, he wasn't wearing the glasses. Can you imagine the content of, here's a 3'5" little guy, and he's punched in the face by a full-size whack job, wacky bitch neighbor?
Yeah, I've spoken with people. I don't own a pair, but I've spoken with people who've had the Google glasses on, and
they're not Google glasses. They're smart glasses.
Okay.
And Ray-Ban makes one.
Yeah, Ray-Ban's like the provider. I don't know.
You have no idea.
I know they exist.
Ray-Ban's the manufacturer.
They provide the shell.
They make the glasses.
Yeah, but they don't make the smart component.
They put the whole thing together.
Yeah, but but Meta makes the smart component, and then they assemble it.
I'm calling Shorty Shane. I don't know if he's going to pick up.
Look at these Ray-Ban sunglasses. You would never know that these are a camera unless you were really keen and you see this little lens in the corner.
You know what? I need to get a hold of Linda down at Gotta Have Shades at Distant Optical.
Hey, this is Shane. I can't make it to my phone right now. Please leave a message.
And you know what? You used to wear that style all the time.
Yeah, they're Wayfarers.
Yeah,
it's the way
that was your signature sunglass look.
Does it record audio as well?
Yeah, this one does.
Records
audio, photo, video. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, shiny black frames. It has the lens. What is it? 2 custom built-in earphone speakers, 5 mic array with Bluetooth connectivity.
Because of the amount of walking I do in the neighborhood and the occasional run-in I have with a jack wagon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? If I would have had these things on, I would have recorded the e-bike almost taking me out.
So this is 500 photos and 100 30-second videos. So I think you have to say something like, Wonder Twin powers activate or something, and then your phone will engage.
Andrew, pick up
and record.
Pick up Hot One and see if Linda picks up.
I think if you say something like Meta record, it'll record, or Meta take a picture, it'll snap a picture.
So Michelle and I, we and the family, we always get our glasses, our regular glasses and our sunglasses. from Linda. It's Distant Optical in Distant Plaza.
Great place.
Well, we've known her for like 2 decades, and she's fantastic. I mean, just the service you get from her. My prescription glasses I get from her, and she uses like one of the best labs in the world to do the lenses. And let me try it one more time. Hang on a minute.
You can't see the number?
Yeah, because I think because she sells Ray-Ban, she sells all the major brands for sunglasses. So I got to believe that she sells the recording glasses. You know what, Fester, that's the smartest thing. I've got to get a pair of that.
I feel like a Mensa member.
Absolutely.
Right now. Like an honorary Mensa member.
So I almost get run over by an e-scooter. Mm-hmm. I've seen a guy wipe out recently. I've got some adult dude, like 27 years old, flying in Beach Park, doing 50 miles an hour and doing wheelies for a quarter mile. And then I stumble across a story. Listen to this. Listen to the headline. This is USA Today yesterday. Who just chortled?
I did. It's funny when you
say. Why are you going?
USA Today yesterday.
What are you snorting over there?
It sounds like a cheap newspaper.
Hi.
USA Today yesterday.
So the headline is why scooters and e-bikes are the newest travel hazard you didn't see coming. Yeah, exactly. E-scooter and e-bike accidents are increasing, posing a risk to riders and pedestrians, especially in tourist areas. Sidewalk riding of e-scooters and e-bikes creates safety concerns for pedestrians, prompting calls for stricter regulations. While e-scooters and e-bikes offer convenient transportation, their misuse and lack of dedicated infrastructure contribute to accidents. Sarah Morris loved using her e-scooter until her accident.
Dun, dun, dun.
And now she's decapitated.
Well, I mean, a scooter.
No, I just made that up.
I mean, a bike accident's, pretty bad. It depends what you hit. But a scooter accident, you're ass over elbows, man. There's nothing to protect you on a scooter.
Yeah. Morris, a tour guide from Seattle, lost control of her rental last year, wiped out. The handlebars came back at me and hit me square in the face, knocking me unconscious. I fell to the ground and slashed my chin and forehead open on the gravel.
Well, that's like the city of Tampa has all these little rent-a-scooters. I told you about the horrific accident I witnessed right in front of me. I was in Ybor City walking toward the trolley because kids like the trolley.
Yes.
And some lady's just barreling around the curve, and her front tire of the scooter fell into the trolley track.
Oh, no.
And she couldn't get out. And boom, she just yard sailed the whole thing. She was blown out. And I'm like, and the kids, my daughter cares about people. She wants to help. I'm like, walk away. So, she's with somebody. They're going to call 911. We don't need to be involved.
So she was injured.
She was screaming. She's like, And I'm like,
she was
the trolley coming?
She was making seal noises?
Yeah, like all the wind was knocked out of her. And she's like,
it's like the lady that was doing the grape stomping up in Atlanta.
Yes.
And fell and
yes.
Bring that.
I gotta find that video.
That video is hysterical.
But she's all busted up, and she wasn't from this area. She was renting the scooter. A couple of people were doing it. It was like a touristy thing. And I'm thinking, these are awful. I'll never ride one of these scooters.
Hurry up, bring it. Go to YouTube.
Atlanta
reporter wine stomping accident, and the reporter is like on a platform stomping grapes in like a wooden barrel, loses her footing, falls off the platform, hits the ground, and she's like,
This is how the woman sounded.
Here, listen.
Great.
All right, ready? Here we go.
These are filled with Chamberson grapes, and the winner this Saturday, who's stopped music, eating international foods, having wine tours and tasting, vineyard tours, seminars, arts and crafts.
Oh my! Oh dear! I think she's hurt. So
back to you in the studio.
They go back to the studio while she's on the ground making like seal noise, making seal noises.
That's how the lady sounded after she fell over right in front of me. I'm like, this is awful.
Wow!
But these scooter accidents are no joke.
Yeah, I'm seeing. Again, there's like 3 or 4 of these scooters, and then remember those little delinquents, like 13, 14 years old. I told the story. They were driving theirs across people's lawns and like ripping up people's lawns. There are these little delinquent bastards that I think live south of us, Michelle. And there's one kid that has like dark moppy hair, and then there's a kid that's like a flaming redhead, and they are rude little bastards.
Just put some landscape rocks out.
And some neighbor goes out and yells at them. They're driving across a neighbor's yard in Beach Park on their e-scooter. One guy's driving, the other one's hanging off the back of this thing. And they're driving across people's shrubbery and lawns, and neighbors. I'm out walking, and I recognize that I see the neighbor saying, "Hey, what are you doing?" And they're flipping the guy off, and they're cursing at him. "F you!" They're screaming as they take off. The guy in the back is leaned around, and he's flipping the guy off. Yeah, those guys need to hit a truck on West Shore. Is what those little kids need.
No trucks allowed on West Shore.
Or you need
there are plenty of trucks on West Shore. So. All right, 8:29 at the MJ Morning Show.
Box truck, not a big rig.
No, there are big rigs. There are gasoline tanker trucks on. I see tons of trucks on West Shore. Listen to this. Speaking of, were we talking about traveling earlier? What are we talking about?
What do you mean?
I thought that's anyway. So listen to this. On cruises, it's been a while, but they'll kind of match you up, and they'll seat you at other people's tables, right?
So at the dinner.
Yeah, at dinners,
dinner, because I was on a cruise, I think, a year and a half ago or so. And at the end of the night, they have an optional banquet dinner or round table dinner, and there's like 8 or 10 seats. Well, if I'm there just with my wife, we're going to be sitting with a bunch of people we don't know.
Right.
Ew.
So you're there with strangers at this table. We went one night, met the people, and we're like, we're not coming back.
Well, listen to this.
Because you have an assigned seat.
All right, so this is a little confusing. I saw this on the Post website. The headline says, Traveler's Cruise takes a turn after family attempts to stop them from drinking alcohol. But they got the last laugh. But then when you read the story, it talks about Reddit user NurseB89 shared her recent experience on a forum in which people question whether they're in the wrong. So is that like am I the a-hole probably? It's probably the AI, whatever it is. So the woman said the hotel where she was staying had club-style seating. So the headline says Traveler's Cruise, but this says club-style hotel or a hotel with club-style seating with 8 people per table paired together to encourage a sense of community and conversation. She writes on Reddit, last night I was seated first and had a glass of wine. Soon after, she was joined by 2 adults and 3 children who were seated at her table. The mother of that family turned to the woman and said, "We don't wish to expose our children to women drinking alcohol."
What?
Yeah, that's why this is interesting.
And you should leave.
Yeah.
She says, I smiled and said, perhaps you should ask to move tables if it was an issue. But I would be drinking the wine, the woman on Reddit said. They noticed I was on my own and made passive-aggressive comments about this. Later, the woman got up from the table to get some food from the buffet. When she returned, the wine had disappeared. She left her wine after they said, we don't want our children exposed to women drinking wine. So she gets up to go to the buffet. She comes back, and the wine glass, gone, disappeared. A waiter came over and asked to see her wristband, an indicator of the all-inclusive access. Does that sound like a cruise? That sounds like
or an all or a hotel experience.
Yeah,
I mean,
like a resort.
If you're at an all-inclusive resort, there might be different tiers of packages.
So the waiter tells the woman that the family had told them I was underage and must have sneaked away from my parents.
What?
So that's why the wine glass was taken away. Man, this is terrible.
That's a pound down.
Yeah, it's pretty devious on the people's part.
The waiter was very apologetic and returned with a fresh glass of wine, just as the family were coming back with their food from the buffet. Instead of requesting to move to another table, the woman asked for the full bottle along with a couple of shots of vodka. So she asks for the full bottle of wine. Bring the whole bottle. Bring me some shots. Bring me some shots of Stoli or Kettle One. The family finally stormed out after she was guzzling the shots in front of the kids. She's putting back the shots in front of the kids.
Oh, man, that's great.
Yeah, 2,000 comments on this story. Wow.
I mean, listen, I still have fairly small children. There's things you want to and don't want to expose them to, but it's on me. I can't expect other people to change.
I have no problem if I'm sitting at a table and a woman is sipping on a glass of wine.
Oh, it doesn't sound like she was sipping, though.
She was initially.
Right.
But it escalated quickly.
Yeah,
now I'm going to get drunk.
Good for her.
They opened up the can of worms, and she was gonna hit him back 10 times. And that's what she did.
You said cruises.
Yeah.
Originally, and this might have been a hotel story. Dude, did you see the trailer that just dropped on Netflix yesterday?
No.
They have a documentary called Poop Cruise.
Oh, you know what? I saw a story on this, but I didn't read it.
Yeah, it comes out July 1st.
There's a documentary on Netflix called Poop Cruise.
And I was like, it was like, I just called you about the other thing, right? I called you about the audio clip, right? And so I just got off the phone with you, and then I saw it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to call him back so late, so soon. I was like, I'll tell him in the morning.
Yeah,
Cruise.
Fester calls me last night and says, "Oh man, you got to take the audio bite of the president dropping the F-bomb on live TV yesterday at the White House. You got to make a sweeper. You got to make a morning show ID out of it." And
the MJ Morning Show is on 104.7 FM.
They don't know what the they're doing.
Q105.
You understand that?
I mean, that was perfect.
Fester calls me to make that. I put that together last night quickly in my home studio. So then you were going to call me back about Poop Cruise?
Yeah. So
what does the trailer have audio?
Yeah. It's a little bit.
Is it narrated?
Yeah. Here it goes.
All right, go ahead, hit it.
Good afternoon. Welcome on board the beautiful Triumph.
Carnival Triumph.
We just love going on cruises. The food, the pool, the water slide. I mean, what more could you ask?
This was absolutely the bachelorette party that I had dreamed of.
We were like, this is awesome. And then the lights go out.
Attention. Empathy.
Oh my God.
A Netflix documentary.
More than 4,000 people are stuck on a cruise ship that is dead in the water.
Oh, yeah.
That's when all of us were like, what the f***?
The power goes, that's it. Everything's out.
It was immediately crisis mode.
The toilets weren't working. Well, we can do a number one in the shower. And then...
I'm telling you, it got bad fast.
I would never expect having to poop in a red bag. Oh, no. Oh, no. Mm-mm.
No. Suddenly, everyone's out for themselves.
You could hear the panic. We were starting.
So the red bag, they started handing out red biohazard waste bags. You know what? I remember this cruise. This was a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And I didn't know they were doing a documentary about it.
It was a Carnival cruise that lost power and was stuck.
It was in 2013.
Okay. Oh.
Was it that long ago?
12 years ago.
It said, I'm reading the USA Today article.
Yeah.
The episode traces a February 2013 cruise aboard Carnival Triumph from Galveston, Texas to Mexico.
Oh, man, the Poop Cruise.
Why are we getting the Poop Cruise documentary 12 years later?
It's the story that has to be told.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
We don't want to be number one in streaming. We want to be number two. All right, let me hear it.
I smell urine.
Oh my God.
It was terrifying.
We had camera people cruise on boats, a helicopter up in the air.
Fights broke out.
Oh, the ship is on fire.
Oh, that's right. Then the ship caught on fire.
What's happening on this cruise ship?
The cruise ship from hell.
It's like something that came out of a nightmare movie.
The snowball has started to roll, and there's no stopping it.
My God, it's chaos.
It's called Trainwreck Poop Cruise. June 24th on Netflix. It just started. It just yesterday.
Was it last? Okay, I thought I saw a different date.
It started streaming yesterday on Tuesday the 24th.
I don't know if I need to watch this or the trailer told me everything is going to be in it.
I'm watching it.
Trainwreck poop cruise.
Right? I didn't know it started yesterday. I saw the trailer for the first time yesterday.
Michelle, go back to the original story. What caused the ship to catch fire, lose electric, lose sewage?
Let's watch the documentary. It'll tell us.
Read the story.
I'm trying to read it as quickly as I can.
What does it say? What was the Carnival Triumph?
Lost power following an engine room fire in 2013, including to flush most onboard toilets.
Oh, God.
What a mess.
The poop cruise.
Oh, man.
And how long were they dead in the water? How long were they stuck?
I don't, but I guess the Trainwreck, it's a series. They're going to do a bunch of other things. So Poop Cruise is just one of them.
Yeah, Trainwreck is the title of the series.
Right.
And they'll do different vignettes of different disasters.
I wonder if they could actually have a Trainwreck.
Yeah. This one's only 55 minutes long, so we can easily get through this.
It's a quick watch.
I mean, yeah. It sounds like a fun...
So it's the Trainwreck series, and it's all kinds of various, just calamities.
Yeah. Like YouTube has, or Netflix has the Untold series where it's the sports messes.
Well, now available on Netflix, Trainwreck Poop Cruise.
But I saw Poop Cruise and I'm like, oh, this is great.
Oh, man. All right.
Yeah. I've been getting into a fight today with a listener.
Yeah, via text?
Yeah.
Over what?
Phil's a loyal listener.
Right. And what's the fight over?
And the other day we were talking about people who died right before their 100th birthday. We talked about Betty White.
Yeah.
And how she died a couple of weeks before her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And he sends me a text a couple days ago. He's like, hey, I just want to make you guys all aware that June Lockhart.
Yeah.
June Lockhart from Lost in Space and all these shows.
Right.
Right. She's going to turn 100. And I write him back. I'm like, June Lockhart, who cares? Because I don't know who June Lockhart is, but he writes me back. He goes, I tried calling this morning to tell you that it's June Lockhart's 100th birthday. And MJ would care because I guess she was in Lost in Space, and the intro to the show is Lost in Space music, which I didn't know that.
Hey, put our show intro.
I had no idea that was Lost in Space music. So Phil Dispenza, who's a loyal listener, very active. He came up with the Fester 813-310-8444 song.
Yeah.
I appreciate him, but he's like, Fester, you have to talk about it. I'm like, no, Phil, we're not going to talk about it because nobody knows who the hell June Lockhart is.
If you're older, you know. I know the name, and coincidentally, I'm almost done watching all of the old emergency TV show episodes. There's 2 more TV movies at the very end in season 7. Michelle's like, I hate that show.
He's like, listen, I tried calling in to tell MJ about June's 100th birthday. But
the reason why I'm pointing this out is there's an episode that I saw recently, season 6, where, or maybe it was one of the made-for-TV movies at the very end of Emergency, which ran on NBC. June Lockhart's daughter, very, very attractive, is one of the actresses in one of the episodes.
What is she, 75?
Yeah, probably about 75 these days. Yeah, really.
So
True.
I wrote, listen, she's not on our radar. And then he gets all pissy with me.
Yeah,
Feels
sorry.
Unlike Betty White, she made it.
To 100 years old?
Yeah. MJ uses the space.
Okay, the MJ Radio Network.
Yeah, let's see. This is our show open. And then it goes into Lost in Space music from the movie.
Now, stand by for the MJ Morning Show.
Yeah, so this music is from the Lost in Space movie.
Yeah, but because we play this, Phil thinks we give a rat's ass about some old lady turning 100 who I've never...
You miss this. Or we use a portion of this to open up the podcast every day. Because the whole show is squeezed down with all content, all the commercials taken out by 11 a.m. So I think we run a little bit of this at the beginning. All right, 8:42 at the MJ Morning Show. Welcome, everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Sorry. Thanks, Phil, for nothing.
Hey, I guess the policy has changed at Disney.
Which policy?
Do you remember if you wore something too risque or if it showed too much, they would like send you into a gift shop to get like a T-shirt and they would like give it to you?
Yeah,
there were multiple stories of like women wearing, outfits
like a bikini top. You can't wear a bikini top to Disney.
Yeah, their boobs are hanging out, and so we had multiple stories over the years where they would pull you aside and they would actually say, "Hey, can you go into this merch store and we'll give you a T-shirt to wear."
But then it became a challenge.
Yeah.
Once it got out that Disney was doing this, 'cause let's say they pulled over 5 people a day, right? Now everybody knows about it.
Yeah, get a free T-shirt. Let me wear a hoochie mama, garment, and have my boobs hanging out, flopping all over the place.
I'll tell you what,
like Double D Dumbo over here.
Like in 2015, Hadley was like 2 or 3. I was getting out of the Dumbo ride.
That's a Triple D, by the way, Double D Dumbo.
I was getting out of the Dumbo ride,
and
I split my pants. My shorts just, and I went to a gift shop and they gave me a pair of shorts.
Really?
Yeah, they had like a pair
How did they have shorts for your size?
It was like in the Dumbo section, so everything was like elephant. No, it was like a pair of like basketball shorts that were like, like double X.
Elastic waist.
Yeah, they said, we give these to you, sir. My underwear's hanging out.
The reason why I bring this up is a woman by the name of Nicole Arena. She was at Epcot at Disney here in Florida. This happened last week. She was with her husband, and she was told that she needed to put a shirt over her white sports bra. She just goes to Epcot in a sports bra.
Well, it's like a workout top.
Well, guess what? They didn't give her a shirt. She had to go into a store and buy a $45 shirt. So I guess maybe the days of giving guests free garments to cover up their goodies, I guess those days are over. So, Fester, if you split your pants today, they might not give you a free pair of shorts.
Well, looks like Dumbo's getting some extra nuts.
They give you free shorts?
Somebody saw it happen, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I split my shorts. And he radioed somebody, and they said, go to this gift shop.
We got a pants emergency. Big fat guy split his pants on Dumbo.
The last thing you want in the kids section is a guy walking around with like a big hole in his pants. Especially me, of all people.
That's great. Hey, Michelle, remember we saw the guy Ralph on the teacups?
Oh, yeah.
We saw a guy on the teacups just projectile.
You didn't want to laugh, but you had to laugh, Fester.
It's spinning around and the puke's flying all over the people inside the... we were in line.
Yeah.
We were like next to go.
Yes.
And the whole thing got delayed for 15 minutes. They got to bring out the vomit cleanup crew.
Yeah.
They had
cover up that teacup with that big canvas plastic thing.
Oh, that's right.
Because that one's out of order now.
They took the vomit teacup out of service and they put like a canvas cover over top of it.
But because those teacups spin themselves and then the whole thing is rotating.
Well, don't you have a wheel where you can make it spin even more?
Right, but it spins a little bit on its own, right?
Just the inertia of the ride.
Right, and so then every time he came around to the line side, it'd be like, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, like you don't want it to hit you.
Do you remember what I did when they finally did the cleanup? They covered the vomit cup and we're getting on, and I'm an adult. We were there with I think Chloe and Julian. Chloe's probably like 9 years old. Julian's
if even
maybe 6 or whatever. Yeah. And as we're walking on, listen, I'm a kid too. As we're walking on, and the attendants are there watching people, telling people where to go, or and as I'm walking through after they open the ride back up, I go,
oh no, not again.
I make the noise and I like keel over like I'm vomiting all over the place. So yeah, this woman said that she had to buy a shirt. She was forced to buy a $45, that'd be an expensive T-shirt. She was forced to buy a $45 T-shirt.
I bet you it's the cheapest one they had, right?
Or else she could not get on a ride that she waited for an hour. What ride at Epcot do you wait for an hour to get on, Andrew?
Let's see. There's Guardians of the Galaxy. Right. There's the Ratatouille ride.
Right. The Ratatouille ride's long. There's the flying ride, which is right.
The one at Norway, Frozen.
Yeah, the
Gets a long
Frozen.
wait.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of rides that take a long time at Epcot.
All right. Anyway, so the free ride of getting a free T-shirt, apparently those days might be over at Disney.
Good news, though.
What's that?
The line for Guardians of the Galaxy is only 45 minutes right now.
Oh,
Ooh, let's get on over.
Andrew's on the app. What is the longest ride wait at Epcot right now?
At Epcot,
It's 8:45 in the morning, 8:48 in the morning.
What time do they open?
Yeah, I think this is the hour that like park guests can go.
Do they do soft openings for park guests that stay at the hotels? Do they do that at Disney?
yes.
So
Yeah, because Julian's girlfriend is coming in from, she's from Texas, but I guess she's up in New York right now. So Julian has a girlfriend at NYU, and she's a sweet little Southern belle from Texas.
No, I wouldn't say that.
All right. Anyway, she's nice.
She's a nice girl, but I wouldn't call her a sweet Southern belle.
So she's a nice girl. And they're going to Universal for a day.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're trying to strategically figure out what's the best day to go to Universal. So they're going to go on a Monday.
Yep.
And then the idea was that they should check into getting a hotel room the night before Sunday night. So then Monday, they can get the hotel guest access.
Right.
It's like an hour early to get into the park at Universal.
And you can knock out your favorite one or two rides.
But listen to this. So Michelle, I think, floated the idea, hey, maybe they should get a room. And I'm like, oh, that's great. All right. So they start looking for prices, and I was like, oh man, it's gonna be ridiculous. What, like $500 for a hotel room?
Yeah.
And then they're gonna have a resort fee jammed on that, and a parking fee, and it'd be $600-700 for the damn hotel room. So Michelle starts researching it, and for the Sunday that they're going to Universal to be there first thing in the morning Monday, Michelle, you got a room at Universal.
Mm-hmm. It's a Universal property.
Which gives them early park access.
Yep. Early park access and a shuttle to and from where you can walk. It's that close.
And how much did you pay for the hotel room?
It was $142.
That's great.
Holy crap. You pay that driving,
I know.
You go to a Comfort Inn off of I-95.
Yeah.
In Georgia, I mean, it could be $142.
I was really surprised. So, and no resort fee.
And no bogus resort fee.
Mm-hmm.
There is a parking fee, though.
There is. The parking fee is like $30, but if you park, I think, at the park, it's like $32.
So a $2 savings.
Yeah. I'm like, you're going to leave the car parked there. You'll take the shuttle or you'll walk. It says you can walk. I don't know, whatever they'll choose to do, but. And they get to get in the park early, and like Fester said, take care of 1 or 2, maybe even 3 rides if they run.
Right, but here's the deal. We did look last week at. Did you do it or did Julian do it?
Andrew showed me how to do it.
Oh, yeah. So Michelle's looking up like some of the waits at Universal.
Yeah.
And some of the like very popular rides now at Universal, the waits were over 2 hours long.
Well, they have this new Epic Land.
That's where they're going.
Yeah,
that's exactly where they're going,
That's
Fester.
what everybody wants to see.
Right, so hotel guests, you rush there, and then maybe you can get on these rides quickly.
You get off one.
Yeah.
And then they let everybody in, and then it's just a mob scene.
Now, remember, we did that with the kids. So this is probably 15 years ago. We go to Universal. We stayed at the hotel. Now, we had a problem checking in because when I went to check in, then they tried, this is 15 years ago, they tried to hit me with a resort fee. And remember I said no. I said, we'll just go somewhere else. And then they said, okay, sir, I'm sure we can waive the resort fee. And they did. And that's a while ago. So now there's no resort fee, but we did get into, it was Harry Potter we got into early. Remember that?
Yeah. And that used to be the hottest thing.
Yeah. So now that's old news. That's old news, right? Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Please.
So we got into Harry Potter, and we were able to hit like the top Harry Potter attractions early with like minimal wait. And then later on in the day, it's like, 2-hour waits. So hopefully they can get into that area of the park and get through some of the stuff they want to see. Hey, guess who's been arrested? Police arrest a man named Looney Tune. Oh, man. From Portland, Oregon, U.S. Marshals and local police arrested a man earlier this week who they've been looking for since Friday when they said he fired gunshots at police, led them on a high-speed chase. Police served a search warrant at an apartment complex looking for 42-year-old Looney John Franklin Toon. That is his legal name. Looney John Franklin Toon. Toon.
Is Looney not a nickname?
That's his actual name. That's his legal name. So he was taken into custody without incident. I guess cops pulled him over early Friday last week, and they discovered that he had an active felony warrant for his arrest. They placed spike strips under the rear tires of Toon's SUV, but they said that did not stop him from speeding away. They hit speeds of 80 miles an hour while firing several shots at pursuing police. No officers injured. He abandoned the car near a golf course, ran away, and he's been on the run for like 3 or 4 days. They finally got him on Monday, and he faces all kinds of charges. The guy legally changed his name to Looney John Franklin Toon. So he's Looney Toon. Yeah, I wonder if the cops were playing this over the police radio. Yeah.
That's all, folks.
So I wonder when they slapped the cuffs on him. I wonder if one of the cops said,
That's all, folks.
as they're slapping the cuffs and cuffing and stuffing this moron.
What's up, Doc?
Yeah, Looney. Yeah, I taught Buddy Cat.
Oh, man.
All right, 8:54 at the MJ Morning Show. That brings to a close well over an hour and 20 minutes of Nonstop MJ. We do a whole hour next. So the 9 o'clock hour is here. Coming up next, Michelle, you're going to want to pay attention to this. Do you know what the number one thing is that every marriage must have in order for it to last? So does our marriage have this? Is this why we've lasted for over, I guess we're 30 years, tomorrow? No, 31 years tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're 31 years.
Yeah. I'm taking a day off.
And we've lasted. We're going to tell you why marriages last in just a second. Oh, also, the guest list for the Bezos wedding is like leaking out. All right, so hang on. We'll get into that in a bit. Hey, we got a lot of stuff. Back in a minute, MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM. Hey, roofing time. There are people listening right now, and yep, it's roofing time. Not to be confused with beef jerky time. No, roofing time is when you need a new roof or you need a roof repair. Who do you call? You call Westfall. Who does the roofing work at my house? Westfall Roofing. That's really kind of all you need to know. So MJ, he's kind of a pain in the ass. And if he uses Westfall, well, they must be good. They do a great job. Around since 1989, folks. They've had thousands and thousands and thousands of satisfied customers. If you look at the reviews, they've got a 4.8 on Google for a roofing company. That is phenomenal. They'll take care of you. They know what they're doing. They got the best roofing crews in town. Their employees. It's a great place to work, according to the Tampa Bay Business Journal. It tells you about the culture. So whether you need a new roof or you need a roof repair, westfallroofing.com. Tell them MJ sent you. westfallroofing.com. When you're making that move, the last thing you want to happen is have that move destroyed by a crappy moving company. And do you want to roll the dice when it comes to your move? No. You want a sure thing. That's why you want to call Two College Brothers Moving and Storage. twocollegebrothers.com for the smartest move you will ever make. They are pros. They're highly trained. They are background checked. The last thing you want are like convicts, ex-cons, roaming around your house, man. Maybe just sprung from, local jail. And I've heard the stories. That there's some moving companies that'll hire folks right out of the county lockup. Great. So if you want a great move, highly trained, if you want a quote that's going to be great and they'll stick to that number, you want twocollegebrothers.com. Smartest move you'll ever make. Mention me, MJ, get free moving boxes. twocollegebrothers.com. The Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors. They are here to help you retire right. You don't want to run out of money in retirement. So when do you start? I'm telling you right now, it'll behoove you to get a hold of the Hollands if you're in your mid to late 40s, into your 50s, maybe knocking on 60, maybe a couple of years from retirement. Maybe you're just about to retire. Maybe you are already in retirement. The point is, do you have the right plan? Do you have the right investment strategy bringing you investment income in every month? Do you have the right full retirement plan, including tax mitigation, so you don't have ugly tax surprises that hit you in retirement? And it happens. Don't run out of money. Get written plans from the Hollands. Get a second opinion. Ask any questions. AskTheHollands.com is the website. Get the phone number. Call them up. AskTheHollands.com and tell them MJ sent you. Traffic's on. Here's Shriner back in a minute.
In Hillsborough, an accident on I-4 westbound at McIntosh has the shoulder blocked. It's back.
MJ Morning Show. We have some breaking Bezos wedding news. This just breaking. And you know what? Let's do that first because that'll be a perfect segue into the number one thing that every marriage needs to last. And, of course, Bezos doesn't know. That's why apparently that Lauren Sanchez is getting, roped into a massive prenup. What if the marriage fails? I'm sure it's like tiered. If they're married for a year, she walks away with X. If they're married for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, she walks away with X. Listen, Bezos is not going to get into a situation again where the wife gets half.
Okay, yeah.
Well, actually, the first wife, who was with him through the whole building of Amazon, from a shelf in their garage selling a couple of books.
Yeah, she put in the time.
Yeah.
I mean, she deserved everything she got.
She did not get half, but she walked away with like $50 billion or something. Look that up, Fester. What was Bezos's wife's settlement in the divorce? I think she walked away with like $40 or $50 billion, and she's already given away.
It was only $36 billion.
38. This is 38.
Yeah, so.
And she's already given away like half.
So she got
to charity.
She got a quarter of the company, and Bezos retained 75%.
All right, so I'm telling this Lauren Sanchez, she's not getting anywhere near that. If that marriage fails, I'm sure there's some nice parting gifts and some go away money, but I don't think she's getting billions.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We don't need billions.
Yeah.
How about just 100 million?
100 million would do it.
I'll make it work.
That'll do it. That'll do it. So the Bezos wedding is supposed to be maybe this weekend in Venice. The breaking news, Michelle just said she just saw that the Bezos wedding venue has been changed. What do you have?
I don't know. Newsweek is reporting that the protesters have won because I guess the wedding was they were to celebrate the marriage in the Cannaregio, which is in Venice's historic center. I'm probably horrifically pronouncing that. But now they've moved it to a place inside the Arsenal, which is a 14th century complex of former shipyards and armories on the eastern side of the historic center.
All right, so they're still going to have the wedding in Venice.
Yes.
But they're moving it from the original location.
Right. So I guess the original location is the historic center and would have just, monopolized the whole, area, which we've been to Venice, so I don't know if they're not talking about St. Mark's Square, right? Because
No.
Right. So but they're claiming that the other place now has been
the original place was the Cannaregio.
Yeah.
The Cannaregio.
You do it so much better.
And now they're moving it to a warehouse or a dump or a shipyard. What are they?
Like a historic shipyard place that I guess has walls around it.
Right.
It's where an art fair normally takes place, and so we'll see.
According to No Space for Bezos, the wedding will now take place inside the Arsenale, a 14th century complex of former shipyards and the armories on the eastern side of the historic center, instead of the Cannaregio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the new location, which is now used as exhibition space. I bet you they jammed up some last-minute rental fees on him. Oh, yeah, we need to move it? 26 million pounds or dollars. Or actually, they're the euro. 26 million euros. Yeah, if you need the space. Yeah. So, breaking news, Bezos' wedding venue apparently changing, but still within Venice. And the guest list has sort of leaked out or starting to leak out, at least some of the names. TMZ reported yesterday that Tom Brady is on the list.
Why not?
Why not? I realize Bezos is one of the richest guys.
I think they're neighbors.
Yeah.
I mean, they both have that property on that Miami island.
The billionaire bunker island in Miami, yeah.
They probably run in a lot of similar circles.
Yeah, but, all of these, just big names, it's almost like Bezos, being one of the richest guys. He's just, collecting celebrities to, build up his ego at his wedding. Leonardo DiCaprio is supposed to be at Bezos' wedding. Why does Leonardo DiCaprio need to be at... They're friends?
Yes.
Bezos and Leonardo DiCaprio, they hang?
They're friends.
Why?
Because they are. Their paths have crossed. They have similar interests.
They're
in
friends. Circles. Bezos owns a film company.
Yes.
He makes movies now. He's friends now with all the movie stars. Right. He has a piece of the NFL with Thursday Night Football. He knows everybody in football.
All right, so Tom Brady is supposed to be at Jeff Bezos' wedding. Kim Kardashian. What is that whiny vocal creaker going to do it? Why is she there? Kim Kardashian.
She's friends with Lauren.
Oh, jeez. Really? For what? How?
Because Lauren...
Lauren, let's go to lunch at the Ivy.
They probably came up in the same kind of circle in L.A. back in the day.
Yes.
I mean, listen, they know each other.
Let's have lunch at the Ivy, and then we can go shopping on Robertson afterward.
Now, is Kim bringing, like, Kanye? That would be awesome.
They're not together. Bill Gates is supposed to be at the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
What about Elon?
I don't see Elon.
They stood so happily together a couple months ago, right?
Yeah, I do not see Elon on the guest list. Anyway, just a couple of names are allegedly leaking out. All right, speaking of marriage, this is the number one thing that every marriage must have for it to last. Folks, tomorrow is Michelle and my 31st wedding anniversary. 31 years tomorrow. How the hell have we gotten this far, Michelle?
Because I'm a super patient person.
Well, according to Arthur Brooks, a social science expert and professor, he's dedicated his entire career to studying love and romance and marriage.
Okay.
The goal of your marriage, he says, is not passion. It's friendship. That's your goal, that you must be close friends, ideally best friends with your spouse. That is how you make it. Or you fake it till you make it. All right, so, Michelle, do you agree that we're friends?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you think that's how we made it? Because we're like friends first?
Yes, 100%.
Well, so a lot of times people start off hot and heavy, and the friendship has to come along in the process.
Yeah. And that's kind of how it happened. That, you know what, Fester, that is sort of how it happened for us, right? Like, we were kind of dating, then you moved away.
Start off really hot and heavy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Michelle. How about you come over? I'll pick you up in my Datsun.
I don't think it was a Datsun.
No, it was my first car
was a Datsun.
No, my first car was a Honda Prelude.
Prelude.
My first car was a 1980 Honda Prelude.
Okay, I'm sorry.
In 1982.
It's so different.
Big difference.
My friends of ours he was a auto wholesaler. My first car was $5,500, of which I paid half. My parents picked up the other half, and it was a silver 1980 Honda Prelude with like a burnt orange cloth, like a National or Eastern Airlines interior from 1974.
Okay, all right.
That's what it looked like. It was like a burnt orange or something.
I'll pick you up in my Honda Prelude.
Yeah. No, when I met Michelle, I had a Mustang.
Yes, you did.
I had a red Mustang GT. I had a 1987 red Mustang GT when I met you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But so we were kind of like dating a little bit. Then we weren't dating. Then we were dating. And then you moved away. And then we were like just friends. I mean, you would call me all the time and, we would talk a lot. And so then I think that's really how it worked out. Then when you came home and we started dating again,
Why do you want me to take line 4, Andrew? Right? The what now? Oh, that's right.
What's going on?
Hang on. This is a blast from the past. Hi, it's MJ. Who's this?
Hey, good morning, MJ. I wanted to remind you.
Yeah, what's your name?
Relevant. Marcus Sharp.
Your name is Martin?
Marcus.
Oh, Marcus. All right, Marcus, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. You wanted to remind me of what?
On the MJ Morning Show reunion podcast, in one of the episodes, you guys recapped the story where the crew wrote down predictions of how long you and Michelle were going to stay married, and you put the papers in the ceiling of the original MJ Morning Show studio.
Yeah, I wonder if they're still in the ceiling on Gandhi. So, the crew, I found this out years after the fact, that they didn't think that Michelle and I were going to last in marriage, and they all wrote down guesses of when we were going to split or get a divorce. Fessy, you were a part of this.
I was the ringleader of it.
Well, was your guess?
And they put these guesses in an envelope, and they pushed up one of the tiles of the drop ceiling, and they put it on top of like the foamy drop ceiling in the studio. So it's probably still up there.
No, that ceiling has since been torn down.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because they found other things up there.
Oh.
And I got a couple of phone calls asking me if I ever put those things up there as well.
Are you making this up?
No, I mean, it's been a couple of years now. But
what'd they find up there?
I think Tommy Chuck said they found like a bloated botulism bottle of like ranch dressing.
Are you serious?
Did you ever throw ranch dressing up in the old stuff? And I might have. I don't remember it, but it certainly sounds like something I would have done.
Oh, man.
But I think Joey B guessed 7 years.
You know, here's the thing. This is when, we all knew young MJ, and young MJ is much different than, older MJ.
Yes,
much different. And I kind of miss that guy. But anyway, we got to know Michelle. And we're like, what is this lovely, lovely person, Michelle, doing with this Tasmanian devil of a man? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and she just started law school. And I'm thinking, as soon as she's using him to go to law school, as soon as he pays for her law school, she's out.
Done.
And so, and then I think Hurricane was there. He's like, oh, I don't think she's going to wait that long, or maybe she'll wait longer. Whatever. We all had our guesses. Yeah. And I was like, okay, write down the day they're going to break up. And I think my guess was like 6 months after law school graduation, whatever that was. So like end of the year, whatever, 3 years from whatever the date was, because you were just starting, because you got your accounting degree from USF. Yeah. And we all made guesses, and I put them in a very safe spot to where we never had to see them again.
Right.
But all the guesses have since come and gone, and they have outlasted any of our predictions.
I think also, too, MJ and I had the same sort of philosophy when we were young. Do you remember where we celebrated our first anniversary?
I do not. Oh, Burns.
Duh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Burns Steakhouse. Oh, Marcus is still on hold. Hey, Marcus, you hanging with us, buddy?
He's listening to the story.
And literally,
I just want to say congratulations to you guys.
Yeah.
And it's a shame we couldn't recover those guesses.
Yeah, 31 years tomorrow. Unbelievable.
And
Thank
literally,
you, buddy.
I ordered a glass of wine,
Yeah.
and I don't think you had a glass of wine. You probably had like water. And we were like, well, round 2, here we go. Because, the first year was so, crazy. I mean, I think for a lot of marriages, right? But we recognized that, and we still were just like, okay, we're doing it.
All right, 9:15 at the MJ Morning Show. Oh, incidentally, I didn't mention this yet. I finally put up the Cacio e Pepe video of me making it in the kitchen at home to absolute perfection. So, I mean, this thing already took off like a rocket. Yeah, it already had like 6,000 views. I put it up like at 6 o'clock last night. And when I went to bed, it had like 5,000. I think this morning it has like over 6,000 views. Let me see where it is.
Oh, we're all so happy for you.
Oh, my God. It's 7,600 views already. So Cacio e Pepe, which means cheese and pepper in Italian, is a phenomenal Roman dish. And so many people screw it up. I mean, it becomes a nightmare. A lot of even Italian restaurants don't offer it because they... to get good consistency, it's a pain in the ass dish to get it right, and I perfected it. Okay. And I make Cacio e Pepe as good as any freaking Italian restaurant in Italy. So if you want to see the video, Julian shot it and edited it, and it's really kind of cool. So the video is on my Instagram right now. Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. If you want to see my Cacio e Pepe video, and it's good. Cacio e Pepe, cheese and pepper, and it's only got 5 ingredients. It's very, very simple. So you don't put butter in there. You don't put olive oil in there. And the video's up on my Instagram right now, Certified MJ Radio, and the comments are off the chain. People love it. People love the video. Linda from Distant Optical just texted me back and said that we can call her.
Okay, great.
All right, so here's the deal, and I think this is a great idea. Michelle, because of like some of the incidents and some of the things I witnessed when doing walks in my neighborhood, and listen, the fact is, it's just sheer like hours and miles in the neighborhood. I walk about 30 miles a week in my neighborhood, so I'm going to walk by a lot of stuff. I'm going to see a lot of things. I'm going to have some run-ins occasionally. Like maniacs trying to run me over with an e-scooter, or some punk asses in a car, driving 70 miles an hour, almost running over people and dogs. So Michelle had actually suggested that I should get like a body cam, like the cops have, to be able to just record my walks.
Yeah. With your little ice-looking vest, now you have a body cam? Oh, my God. You're going to flip every gardener out.
My vest is it's a weighted vest just for extra weight for resistance and for a better workout during my walk. So who suggested getting the smart glasses?
I thought of it. I mentioned it
and
because
then
you see so much stuff. You said you almost got hit by an e-scooter.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, that's what I want to see. That's the content I want to see on your Insta. On your gram.
All right, so Linda owns Distant Optical. Got to have shades, and they're in Distant Plaza. It's the best eyeglass shop around. She's great.
Good morning.
Linda, hey, it's MJ. Michelle is in the studio, Fester, and we were talking that I need to get like a body cam because I walk the neighborhood and I always see crazy crap in the neighborhood. And then Fester said I need to get the video recorder, the video recording eyeglasses. And I'm like, I'm sure you probably sell those or have access to those, right?
I do sell them. They're very popular. They're made by Ray-Ban, and it's called the Meta.
Yep.
Is it backed up by Meta, by the Facebook guy?
Yes. Him and the company who makes Ray-Ban got together, and he is pretty much the brains behind the whole thing.
All right, so how does it record? Does it have an SD card? How does it?
They have, you would hardly know it. Right now they have two styles. One of them is like the traditional Wayfarer that's been around for years.
Yep.
And it's got little buttons on the top, on the temple.
Yep.
That you just hit the button and you can take pictures, you can take videos, you can talk on your phone. They're amazing. They really are.
All right, so if I'm walking and let's say I see something crazy or some maniac tries to run me over or, something crazy is about to happen. So I hit a button on the glasses.
You just hit the button and you say, Meta, take a video. Meta, take a picture.
All right, so when I say Meta, take a video, where does it record the video?
It records it in the device, and then it will download to your phone. Because you have to when you get the device, you have an app on your phone, and it works. Everything works through the app.
All right, do you have these in stock? I got to come get one.
Yeah, I have them in stock.
All right. Yeah, I got to get it. So
sign us up for two.
What are the two? What are the two styles? So
they have the traditional Wayfarer. That's the old the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, listen, I've had tons of Wayfarers over the years.
Okay, they make it in the Wayfarer, matte black, shiny black, two sizes. The small one should fit you pretty good.
All right,
and then they make a lady style that's a little different from the Wayfarer. And I did hear from the rep just the other day that probably in the next 3 to 6 months, they're going to have some styles also in Oakley.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
So Luxottica, the parent company, they're really going after, they're getting hot and heavy into the technology market. That's where they want their future to be.
See, folks, look at this.
This will not be the last styles coming with the Meta capability.
All right, so listen, I told you that Michelle and I buy our prescription glasses and our sunglasses from Distant Optical in St. Pete in Distant Plaza, and now you can hear why, because I call up and I've got I got a catalog of information here in a minute. So
there you go.
There you go.
There
exactly.
you go.
There you go.
Well, Linda, I've known you for 25 years now. So
at least.
Yeah.
A long time.
It's been a while. All right, so we'll be down there. I'll call you up. I'll let you know when I'm coming. I got to get a pair of these glasses to record incidents while I'm walking in the neighborhood.
Yep. Nope. They're great, and like I said, they've been very popular. Gary, you can also play music during the day anytime you want. Gary's been wearing his now for about a month. He loves it.
Well, all right. Well, I'm in. All right, Linda, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
Hello to Michelle.
Hello,
I'll see
Linda.
you guys soon.
Yes.
All right, bye-bye. So Linda owns Distant Optical.
That's cool.
Tell you, best if you need prescription glasses, prescription sunglasses.
Or just sunglasses.
She's got like every brand of sunglasses.
Yeah.
You know, everything. And you talk about service, that place is old school service. Man, I've been going there for like 25 years. Guess whose home is for sale? This dude lived there for 50 years. He's not with us anymore.
Oh.
His home is for sale, and I got to believe Michelle's going to want this. I might have to fork over some cash. And we might have to move to L.A.
So somebody's been obviously somebody who died who's older if they lived there for 50 years.
Yeah, but Michelle's going to want this house. All right, hold on. What house am I going to have to buy for Michelle? In Los Angeles. You'll find out next. Hang on. Hold on to that thought, Michelle. Hang on.
Hold it.
And guess which celebrity's teeth fell out while she was singing on stage?
Oh, that's just gross.
Well-known celebrities on stage and her teeth fell out while she's singing a song. All right, hold on. That and a whole lot more in the final segment of the MJ. How do you tune out of this? On the MJ Morning Show next here on Q105, 104.7 FM. 10% off from Banco. If you need a garage door repair, you want to call the best. Bank on the best. Bank on Banco. BancoDoors.com. They are, hands down, the best garage door company in the Tampa Bay area. They have been family operated since the mid-'80s. They've been around for over 40 years in the Tampa Bay area. They're locally owned. Their crews are the best. No contractors. They're all employees. They've got tons of trucks on the road to service the entire Tampa Bay area. You know, if you need service, number one item that people need service for, broken spring. If it breaks, get a great job quickly at a fair price. Not some of this spin the wheel and let's see how much the customer will pay. How much can I get out of the customer for this spring repair? That happens with some of the other garage door companies out there. Now, not going to happen with Banco. You need a new opener. You need a new door. You need service for anything. It's Banco. Bank on the best. Mention me, MJ. Get 10% off. BancoDoors.com. BancoDoors.com. Again, tell them that MJ sent you. You got a couple of days left. The Zero Res 15% off sale ends at the end of the month. Scheduled to end on the 30th. 15% off every service from Zero Res carpet and air duct cleaning. You need your carpets cleaned the right way with ZR Water. The electrolyzed patented water process gets your carpets cleaner. They don't leave a residue. The other carpet companies that clean, they use chemical soap, shampoos, they leave a residue. The residue, it attracts dirt faster. I mean, that is insane. So you need your carpets cleaned, 15% off. You want your air ducts cleaned out. Get rid of all the dust and the mung and the grotesqueness in your ducts. Get your ducts cleaned out, 15% off. Area rugs, 15% off. Grout, tile cleaning, upholstery cleaning, 15% off right now. Go to the website, get the phone number, call them up, and tell them MJ sent you. Very important. ZeroResTampaBay.com. ZeroResTampaBay.com. You call them up, or you can book online, but always tell them the MJ Morning Show sent you for 15% off everything right now. Final check on traffic. Here's Shriner back in a minute, MJ Morning Show.
Still dealing with...
welcome back, MJ Morning Show, 9:31. What line and why do you want me to take a call, Andrew? And hang on a minute. Lisa's on hold about the Meta glasses. Shorty Shane has them. Shorty Shane loves his glasses, and he's kicking himself that he didn't have them on when he was attacked by his neighbor in Lakeland last weekend. Lisa, right?
Yes.
Lisa, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
We're doing well. What's up?
Well, I called because I do transportation to the Lighthouse of Pinellas, which helps the visually impaired and the blind.
Yeah, we've done some fundraisers over the years. I've been to several of their beeper ball, the baseball, the softball games with the Lighthouse for the Blind. Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'll have to talk to them about letting me know next time.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while, but I probably need to do that again next time they have beeper ball or beep ball, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk to the director when I see her later.
Fantastic.
All right, go ahead.
So the reason why I'm calling is because I know some people who are visually impaired, and they have gotten the Meta glasses, and they love them. They use voice prompts, and they don't have any problems with them. If they want to take a picture, they say, Meta, take a picture. Meta, call this person. I'm not an expert on everything it does, but I just wanted to put it out there that it's a really good tool for the visually impaired and blind.
Yep, sounds good.
Probably reads their mail and stuff like that.
Yep. Listen, I've heard nothing but good things, and I think I do need to get these to document anomalies during my walks in the neighborhood. Lisa, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I just thought it was good information.
You are correct.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, very good information. Thank you, Lisa.
Great information, Lisa. Not good. Great.
Line 2, who? Maury. Maury's on line 2. Hi, I wasn't even planning on taking calls, but I am. Hello, Maury. You're on the MJ Morning Show in Lutz.
Good morning.
Hey.
My friend has it. She lives in Puerto Rico. We went to Cape Cod.
Yep.
And I used them. You just push the little button and it takes pictures, and the pictures came out so good. I did not expect it to be that good. And they take video. If you can just video and look at it was really good. The only thing that it doesn't work for her is they have an AI, but apparently in Puerto Rico, it just not letting use the AI in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, listen, I just wanted to record video if I have, some maniac that's about to run me over with an e-scooter or some, nut job driver. These are perfect for me. So, hey, listen, thumbs up from everyone on these glasses. So I'm going to I'll get the Ray-Ban Wayfarer style Meta video glasses. All right, thank you, Maury.
You're welcome. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thanks for calling. All right, Michelle's got to have this. I'm going to have to step up. I wasn't planning on spending $8.19 million.
Oh.
You know what?
But I might have to do this.
Once in a while. I mean, what's the point of making the money if you can't spend it every now and then?
Why am I going to have to buy something for $8.19 million out in L.A. for Michelle?
I mean, is it somebody, is like Bob Barker or something?
How the hell did you know? How did you guess that?
I'm thinking of dead people.
Yep.
Who's been famous for a long time. I originally thought it was like Tom Petty, because I know Michelle, Tom Petty fan, and he's dead.
Yeah.
In case breaking news, Tom Petty's dead.
Yep.
But but he was only famous for like 30 years or 40 years. So he couldn't own a house.
So I gave you enough clues. Los Angeles, $8.19 million. The guy's been dead, owned this for 50 years. Bob Barker's house is for sale, and Michelle has got to have it.
Is it good looking? Or does it have some of the pieces from the set?
No, it doesn't have like the wheel on it.
No, it's got Plinko in the living room.
What are we going to watch tonight, honey?
Right.
Click, 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 click,
You know the putting green? When you do the hole in one? It's got that.
Okay.
And
that's a start.
Do you know what they have in the garage, Michelle?
What?
A new car!
Oh, wait, I have the actual audio on that. You should have given me a little heads
I
up.
thought you were picking up what I was putting down. That's why I paused in that a second.
Do you want to say that again?
Michelle, do you know what they have in the garage?
A new car!
Damn it, you messed
What?
it up.
What?
She has to say what?
All right, go ahead. Do it again.
Take 3.
Go.
Michelle, do you know what they have in the garage?
What?
A new car!
There you go. That worked out.
So Bob Barker's L.A. home of 50 years is now listed on the market for $8.19 million following extensive renovations.
Also, Bob was of that genre where they didn't move.
Apparently, the giant, the first version of the giant showcase showdown wheel got wedged in a guest bathroom. So they had it rolled down the hallway and got jammed in a bathroom. So they had to get the giant wheel out. You know, the $1.
Listen, I think you'd love his house. It's kind of like a southwestern mission design.
Yeah.
Oh, it is nice looking.
Yeah, it's at 1851 North Outpost Drive. And
Spanish colonial revival is what it's
I
called.
know exactly where this is because I used to drive up in the Hollywood Hills. So I lived just south of Melrose for a couple of years, and I used to take Outpost up into the hills. I knew some people that lived up there, and plus I used to go driving. I used to go because I'd get up to Mulholland up in there, and I know I've been on Outpost. I must have driven by this house a bunch of times because I used to drive right up Outpost in Hollywood. So, Michelle, do you want it?
Yeah, that looks really nice. I'm looking at some of the pictures from inside.
Yep.
This is a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
Bob Barker's house. Bob Barker died in August of 2023 at the age of 99. And you know what happened when Bob Barker died?
The horns?
That's what happened.
And they just shoved his casket right into the ground.
Big Bob Barker shove. Oh, I'm sorry. Then you get the shove. We'll have more pricing games. What do you think the price of Bob Barker's funeral was?
I mean, I would think,
I don't know.
$2,000, $10,000.
He probably paid for it way before, so
That's what they should have done at the funeral. They should have rolled in the mountain climber game. Hey, folks! How much did Bob Barker's funeral cost? Let's go. Make sure you don't go too over because then the guy falls off the cliff. Oh!
Now that you say that, I don't think I've ever seen Bob Barker in a commercial hawking a product.
No, he did.
Really?
Yeah.
Like cigarettes?
No. He
like in the 60s?
No. I want to say just like Alex Trebek did, like
insurance,
a Colonial Penn life insurance or something.
I don't remember Bob Barker doing that.
I think Bob Barker did. Well, look it up.
I am.
Did Bob Barker ever do commercials? I think he did. I think I recall seeing him do something. Yeah. While Bob Barker was primarily known for longtime host of Price is Right and advocacy for animal rights, there was a State Farm commercial featuring Bob Barker. It can be found on YouTube.
He was never the face of a product. Like Ed McMahon.
Oh, yes, he was. He was the face of Trojan condoms for years.
With all those Barker beauties. He needed them.
Oh, he did some State Farm insurance.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Campaign where he made a new car appear for a woman whose previous car was totaled. But it was
The Price is Wrong, Bob. Plus, he was in, Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, he was featured in a commercial, but he wasn't like the spokesperson for their company going to their big annual event for 20 years in a row.
No, Fester's right.
Guess who? You're correct. All right. But he has been in commercials. Guess which star's teeth fell out during a live performance on stage in Washington State?
Okay, so I don't know the answer, but when you say this, I think of somebody like a Dionne Warwick.
Oh.
I don't know why. I mean, just an older person.
That's
what friends are. Poink, little teeth falls out.
Yeah.
That's what friends are for.
Yeah, hang on.
But, am I even close? Am I in the right genre of musician?
So her teeth would be like something like this.
Oh. Like in the song, That's What Friends Are For.
Right.
She says, keep smiling, and then boink, her teeth falls right out.
Oh, that's a perfect line
Right?
for it, too.
That's what teeth are for. That's what Fix-A-Dent's for. I mean, I think of like when you said that. I don't know who it is. Dun, dun. I don't want to give out false information. Am I right or wrong? I don't know. Oh God!
What the heck?
Those are some heavy teeth.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Oh,
she has some chompers.
Keep smiling. Oh, man.
I remember when this song came out in the late 80s. I loved this song.
Which one? That's
this
what
one.
friend. Yeah.
Yeah. That I do believe I love you.
That's
then
enough.
Elton comes out.
Where's the keep smiling?
I mean,
that's when the teeth need to fall out,
yeah,
right?
it kicks in a little bit. All right. Is it not that?
No, it's not Dionne Warwick.
Am I in the right family of singers?
So she was really big back in the 90s, and then I'm not a fan of this genre. It's country music. So I'm not a country music fan per se, but she kind of crossed over a little bit and very well known.
It's like Shania Twain.
You're
Martina McBride.
You're kind of barking up the right tree. LR.
Loretta. No.
LR. Those are the initials.
I don't know.
Leanne Rimes.
She's young.
Yeah. So
I was thinking somebody geriatric.
No. Apparently she's got some fake teeth going on up in there. And she was on stage at the Skagit Valley Casino and Resort in Bow, Washington.
Sounds like a great gig. Good
last Saturday. And apparently she's in the middle of a song and her bridge work fell out of her mouth.
All right,
Hey, wait, we have audio. You know what it sounded like? It's like a red swing line stapler hitting the countertop.
Leanne Rimes is 42 years old.
Yeah,
she was like a child singer.
Yeah, remember she was like a sensation when she was like 17, 18, right? 20?
Maybe even younger, doing those little hillbilly square dance shows.
Hillbilly square dance show?
I'm not that big of country music guy.
Yeah, anyway, her teeth fell out. She's got some, I guess, bridge work. And she's at this Skagit Valley Casino doing a show. And I guess her bridge fell out.
Oh, no, that's awful.
Yeah, here's some audio. No, seriously, I swear, I'm not making this up. This is actual audio of her telling the story.
So last night, I was on stage in the middle of One Way Ticket. I feel something pop in my mouth. And if you've been around, you know I've had a lot of dental surgeries. And I have a bridge in the front. And it fell out in the middle of my song last night. To which I panicked and in the middle said, hold on, and ran to the side of the stage and put it back in, like popped it back in.
Wow.
And then just went on singing. And then I just had to get real with everybody and tell them exactly what was happening, or else I would have had to walk off stage. And so for the rest of the show, I was literally like this, pushing my teeth in.
Wow.
Like every couple lines and singing, which by the way, I never knew how many F's and thus and sh's that I have in my songs, especially Can't Fight the Moonlight.
Wow.
Like Can't Fight the Moonlight, they like completely put it in my mouth. It was the most epic experience ever. That was a first and hopefully a last. I hope my teeth stay in tonight. We shall see. The front row, get ready for something to fly out.
Oh,
yeah. If you catch them, please return them. You know, good times. Just keeping it real on here with you, just as real as I had to last night.
All right, so she's telling the story to the audience the next night.
Day.
Yeah.
Okay, so
about her teeth. It sounds like a small little intimate venue there. There's like, you know, it was all. Oh, that was on a pot. Oh, that was on a. She videoed that. All right, so she's warning the front row that hopefully her teeth won't fly out of her mouth. You know what? She sounds like down to earth. She sounds pretty genuine. I don't know what is her reputation.
She was a star when she was 13 years old.
You know, you're right. I don't think I've ever heard anything bad about Leanne Rimes. Have you? I mean, I'm not like hyper focused on Leanne Rimes, but she sounds like a kind of cool, genuine, real person.
I'll tell you the worst thing I heard about her brushing habits of her teeth. Because she's like, as you all know, I've had a lot of dental surgeries. I mean, how about you just floss?
All right, Fessa, let me get your sweeper suggestion one more time here.
The MJ Morning Show is on 104.7 FM.
They don't know what the they're doing.
Q105.
You understand that?
Do I need to have it professionally done, or is my little home late night job good enough?
You know what, MJ? Here's what I'd like to see.
Okay.
I would like to see you request it to be done professionally.
Okay.
And then I want to hear what's better. The professional job
Okay.
or MJ's slapped together in 10-minute homemade job?
Keep in mind that I used to do
I get it.
radio production in New York City and Los Angeles.
I get it.
I was doing that stuff back in the old tape days, you know.
But you have your home studio, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not a production studio, is it? It's a home radio recording studio. You work off of a laptop, right?
But I have Adobe Audition. I've got a little console. I've got a microphone.
When you were doing production, you were slicing reel tapes and then taping them together.
Yeah, I was doing radio production before the digital era.
So I want to know, and you haven't done it with any regularity in 30 years?
Yeah, easily.
So I want to know if some guy coming off the bench 30 years later.
Even the crotchety old band calls, those were all recorded on tape, and I was editing with razor blades and splicing tape. Yeah.
I want to hear what the production house that we have on retainer comes up with.
All right. That's fine. Well, because you also suggested that we do MJ, Fester, Michelle. They don't know what the F they're doing.
Well,
the MJ Morning Show on Q105.
Because he says you basically have two, right? So it's MJ and Fester. You basically have two countries. So you basically have two, whatever you want to call yourselves. And then you say MJ and Fester.
No, hold on. If you're calling us countries, then I'm Iran. And I don't want to be Iran. Okay?
Fester is the size of a small.
Replace the word countries with something else.
You know what? Fester is actually larger than Lesotho.
Listen, I'm growing out a white beard, and MJ has his tribe. I mean, it's actually amazingly appropriate. Oh my God.
The MJ Morning Show is on 104.7 FM.
They don't know what the they're doing.
Q105.
You understand that?
All right. Final moments of the MJ Morning Show. If you missed what I mentioned actually earlier this hour, I did finally put the cacio e pepe video, the cheese and pepper classic Italian Roman dish. Julian finally edited it yesterday, and it really came out well. And it's like 2 minutes long. If you want to see me do classic, delicious, perfect cacio e pepe, it's on my Instagram right now. It's Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio. All right, Michelle, on the Diddy front, it looks like this could go to the jury on Thursday or Friday. Is that still the timeline?
Yeah, I think so.
So Diddy's lawyers are putting on a ridiculously, shockingly short case.
Well,
they're just, I don't know how I think they're just going to leave it up to the jury. They must think that maybe the government did not prove, and this could be, a fatal flaw in their thinking. But keep in mind that Diddy is accused of, these are federal charges. He's pleaded not guilty to sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. And Diddy's attorneys, either they're like, oh my God, this is so freaking far gone, we can't fix this, or hey, the government didn't prove the case that he violated federal laws and leave it up to the jury. If the feds lose this, that'll be really embarrassing. With all the hoopla and the raids in Miami and Los Angeles, and that'll be really embarrassing if they lose this case.
So don't get the free P. Diddy shirt just yet, or is this the week to get it?
Well, how long is the jury going to deliberate?
Is there going to be crowds of people outside the courthouse like Karen Reed?
Yeah. I think Karen Reed is actually going to be outside. Who knows? All right, listen, bottom line is the jury could have this as, early as tomorrow? Late tomorrow?
I guess it depends on their closing arguments, how long they go, and what the judge has.
Are closing arguments still set for tomorrow?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Wow. All right, well, this and that, how long was this? This hasn't been 8 weeks.
Yes, it has been 8 weeks.
No. When did the trial start? When did
It feels like it started in April or early May. Early May it started. Didn't it?
All right.
Like, wasn't the first week of May the trial?
Holy crap! And then
6 weeks long.
So wait a minute. If Diddy's team put on
began on May 12th.
Wow.
Yes.
So it's like a month and a half. So if Diddy's team did put on a vigorous defense, that could have been another month plus.
Well, I think they were expecting you give the judge the time that you think you're going to take to put on your case. They probably told the judge we'll need maybe a week, right? Because maybe they were expecting that they were going to either have witnesses or they were going to do, some type of rebuttal witness. I don't know, and now we're just down to, well, how are they going to, what kind of a case would they even put on? Mistaken identity? Or he just didn't do it? Or
it's just baby oil and lube.
Right.
And he kicked the lady and dragged her by the hair in front of an elevator in a hotel. Who doesn't do that?
Okay, they're acknowledging that he's a piece of crap human.
Right.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy.
Exactly.
He's made a lot of mistakes.
But it's not risen to the level of federal crimes.
But it's not this. So try him for those charges.
Yeah.
All right, folks, you know what would really make me happy? As I close today's show, do you know what would really, really make me happy?
Oh, I know what would make you
If I could just get one new follower on Instagram right now.
That's all he wants.
That's all I want. If I could just get one new follower, that's all. Every day, I just want one new follower. If I could just get someone that's on Instagram that's not following me, if you really want to make my day, if I could just get one new follower right now at Certified MJ Radio. That is my Instagram handle. I'm not being a piggy. I'm not buying fake followers. I'm just looking for one new follower right now. Could that be you? Won't you be my follower? That's all. Just want one. Certified MJ Radio. All right, we got to get out of here. 9:52. Folks, have a great day. You need to get a hold of me. I'm MJ at MJMorningshow.com, my private email. My DMs are open always on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. We'll see you back here tomorrow for the Thursday show. Have a great one, folks, and let's be careful out there. Maybe one more time.
The MJ Morning Show is on 104.7 FM.
They don't know what the they're doing.
Q105.
You understand that?
The Q105 app is your connection to all the big contests.